As I
Also,
said, 0.
a true scholar. Oh, this is Ienzo. A true scholar finds clues to the future and the mistakes of his past. Hashtag test post. Hashtag X organization. Hashtag Zexian. I don't know what that Roman numeral is.
6.
Zexians. Oh, because he was the 6th. Because he was the 6th organization member. Hashtag Radiant Garden. Hashtag cracking the code.
Tim, you are right. It is the sequel to The Best Is Yet.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird. Like, why does she say "come" like that?
Sorry, what? I had tuned out for a second. Why does who say come like what?
So at the Republican National Convention, I can't remember what her name is.
Okay. So it's not what I was thinking you were talking about.
And it's the sound clip is so weird. It's all over
Also,
Twitter.
I didn't fight Zexian because Zexian only has a fight in Chain of Memories, which I can't play Chain of Memories. The card system fucking sucks. I can't get through Chain of Memories, and that's the only game I believe where you ever get to fight Zexian. Sorry, somebody asked.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, this is Pirates of the Caribbean. This is actually at World High.
Benji.
We're having high winds, and it fucked with my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Before I start playing, I'm doing some behind-the-scenes stuff to make sure that
here's what's
Aeronaut
gonna happen.
Yeah.
If there is a problem, again, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get LK's stream key. I've hosted like 7 other people's channels before for charity streams, so I'm used to the process. I'll get LK's stream key, and at the very minimum, if LK's internet cuts out completely, I'll just be hosting guests, and we'll have a talk time.
Cool.
Okay. Because
Sounds good.
Talk show. I'll be Stephen Colbert.
So if
you have the talking knowledge.
if you go to Twitter, go to your channel.
I'm on the creator dashboard. Where do I go again?
Creator
Settings?
dashboard. So I guess it's settings now. Yeah, stream. It should be primary stream key. You're gonna want to copy that. It's gonna tell you like, oh, you have to be really careful with this because you do have to be really careful with who access to your stream key. But I think we trust you. We're fine.
I think I trust you. I'm gonna DM it to you on Discord.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay.
And
So you have that now, and now I can go back to playing the game, and hopefully nothing else happens.
I'll also need the Tiltify. If you go to the the widget, I'll need the widget code.
Oh. Is that just the link for the box?
Yeah, that's what we set up.
What you set up. So I need those two things just because that way I'm gonna get my OBS. So I run Streamlabs for my own stream, and I use a separate OBS install for hosting other people's accounts so that I can easily set up a alternate thing. And this should hopefully keep us safe for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen anymore. But Aeronaut, the link I sent you, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Also, can everyone tweet out? Everybody in chat and everybody in the call. Actually, you know what? Let's do one tweet. I'm gonna tweet that we're back up, and a link to the stream.
Yes, please.
And I want everybody. I'm gonna put it in chat. I want everybody to retweet it. Okay?
Yes, please.
And that way we can get people back in.
Will do.
Yeah.
I also have downloaded a joke video. If we go down again.
Okay.
I'm
sorry. They're just my city hates me, and there are very high winds tonight.
Does that impact?
We're discussing how there's only 4 parts of America, and they are unlocking here Minnesota Nights, Twang, and California Dreamin'.
That's correct, isn't it, Lady No?
What now? Sorry.
Those 4.
I'm not reading that.
I don't know what's happening.
One sec. Benji, what's your Twitter?
Oh, let me grab that real quick.
Also, Benji's here. We have a new guest here.
Yeah, we have a new guest.
Yeah, we do. Benji's here.
We do have the dynamic sticks.
Benji.
2 trios of chaos.
I raided with my entire community, and there was
thank
nothing.
you so much.
Because they all.
It was just like all the fates aligned for that moment.
I'm so sad right now. It was such an unfortunate moment, but
it's also like the nature of live streaming. At some point, we'll look back and it'll be pretty funny.
yeah, no, like
Also,
I
put
have
it,
never
put
seen
it in the,
extreme.
grab the exclamation point,
issue
donate, and stuff like that.
in some way. That
Yeah,
runs
Tim,
towards that.
didn't you like lose connection or something during your stream for a while? The last one.
Yeah.
I think you
my,
did.
My whole computer had like crashed. I had to restart everything. Yeah. It's so frustrating. It's so demoralizing. So.
I'm trying not to dwell too hard, but it's just really frustrating because my roommate is able to hotspot their phone, but I don't think I have the data for it. So like I turned it on as a hotspot for a sec right when the Wi-Fi came back, but it was like, this is not gonna be a tenable solution.
Yeah, but if I can get it to the point where,
Yeah.
then if I'm hosting the stream, you don't need much internet to call back in, and at least you can be in the call, right?
Potentially. My phone be... What the...
So is the plan for her to like stream to you and then you just broadcast?
Basically, if my
the
internet goes down.
I'll just be streaming to the channel. We'll have like the Tiltify link and stuff, but no Kingdom Hearts 3 until LK's back.
Gotcha.
But that's
I don't know
just
if
the worst
this is
case
a
scenario.
good thought, but it's just a thought. Could we have Lady Knight stream the game to Discord and then just host the stream on another?
If the internet's down, then
can't stream to Discord.
yeah, it's internet required for all those things, and unfortunately, especially Discord actually I think uses more bandwidth than Streamlabs does.
Sometimes yes, because it's less optimized.
Here comes some more.
Discord is instantaneous stream, right? Streamlabs delayed it so it can cache things, and there's a lot of other stuff that can do it.
Yeah.
Much better.
That's a good point. And plus, on Discord, there's like a shit ton of people.
Yes.
Yeah. And no Streamlabs and all that.
Yeah. So the problem is lack of internet, but if that really happens, I'd much rather that we have a stream
Yes.
of some sort.
Yes. I do like the Jack Sparrow imitator, I just want to say. I think he does a good job.
Everybody retweet the tweet that I just put into the Twitch.
Yes, please, if everybody could share that.
Also, to explain for anyone who's curious why I put the link in the response, not in the direct tweet. So Twitter's algorithm deprioritizes anything with a link off the website in the primary tweet. The reason it does this,
Gross.
well, it's not purposeful. So Twitter's algorithm is designed to maximize interaction time. It's machine learning, so they don't actually care about understanding what the underlying systems are or what it's actually doing. They're just basically going, the most valuable thing are tweets that keep people on Twitter interacting with Twitter, right? What keeps you off of Twitter? Clicking a link to another website.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think. I even if there's a high chance it's not even purposeful, and even if it was purposeful, I'm not surprised by it. They want interaction. That's how their stuff works. So it's shitty, but that's why that works that way. So in future, when you're tweeting stuff out and you want to make sure that people see stuff, post the link as a response, not in the original tweet. And I've seen this happen like in direct time with my tweets. Well, I'll get like 50 likes on something with no link, and a thing that was tweeted 10 seconds before, and like no retweets, just a ton of likes, no retweets. And I'll have something that I posted 10 seconds before. I got like 6 retweets and 6 likes, and that's it.
Sorry, I was like in the process of retweeting. Am I supposed to not retweet it? Like just put the link in, or?
Oh no, retweet the tweet that I put in.
Aeronaut was just talking about some Twitter backend stuff.
Yeah,
while we're figuring that out, I just want to quickly call out and quickly thank Super F1 NE Beam, Happy Bunny 345, and Cassian Eves for retweeting Aronok's tweet. Can everybody please get that one out there? Retweet it, share it with your friends, share it with your lovers, share it with your mothers and your fathers and your non-binary parents, share it with your grandparents, and message it to your boss. Send it to everybody. Everybody you know. Get him here.
Go with the cat.
Give a note to your cat.
Oh, and now here's Pirates of the Caribbean's ship fighting mechanic, which honestly, a little jank. It's not easy. It's not easy to win at the ship mechanic, the ship fighting
so
stuff.
fast. Oh my god.
I fucking hate the shit mechanic.
Shit mechanic.
Thanks, Fox.
Thank you, Doodle Fox. Thank you. There's a fight later that's very extensive. It's one of the hardest parts I find of this entire game. I'll probably die a couple times. But Benji, now that we've got all the housekeeping out of the way, do you want to just really quickly tell everybody who you are, what you do, all that fun stuff? Introduce yourself to the chat.
Yeah, hey everybody. My name is Benji. I run a YouTube channel called Tale Foundry about writing, fiction, storytelling. I guess the best way to describe what I do occupationally is I pretend to be a robot for a living. So if any of those things sound exciting to you, yeah, that's what my channel is.
And you do amazing stuff. Like I've seen very few channels with such a distinctive and character that the creator knows so well and is artistically, artfully and intelligently crafted.
Yeah.
Tim, if you don't stop, we're gonna get into a Canadian standoff where I start complimenting you a whole bunch, and we'll just be doing it for like the next half hour.
Don't worry, if you guys compliment each other, I'd be happy to point out all of the flaws.
Cuenin, no, they'll put you back in jail for that.
Mate.
Cuenin, be careful, they'll put you back in your cage if you do it too much.
Bad Cuenin.
Oh my goodness gracious.
This is wild and like not at all even slightly Pirates of the Caribbean, but like I like it.
I really hate it
I
because
thought this was Pirates of the Caribbean. What's going on here?
I
This
can't
is
help
from
you with that.
The bird part.
I'm fighting a bird. I don't know. I'm fighting a bird, and also
this is so much.
This aiming mechanic is not very good. But I know at some point I can maybe what I should do is jump. Ah!
I'm really curious, like,
Why
why this is the direction they decided to take it with the nautical theme. Like
There's a lot of time that you spend on the ship, and you can jump off of it, and like it's really cool. Oh fuck! I did this wrong. Fuck! No, get back here! I can't glide yet. Get back here, bitch! You stupid slut!
I just realized I was somehow not following Tale Foundry, so I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, this stupid slut. No! Oh, fine. Whatever. I'll go for a swim. No fall damage in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my goodness.
Screaming this.
Yep.
What is happening?
What's happening is I'm bad. I'm bad at this, and if I don't get back, the ship could blow up. I think if I lose this area, the ship could blow up.
Well, don't worry. If you lose or die in this game, it'll certainly be the first time it's ever happened during any charity stream ever.
No, I'm just like, it's annoying. It's like, no, just don't do it.
Gravity of this moment that, you know, it's all down to this, down to you.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
It's not like any of us have ever seen that happen in a charity stream before, over and over again.
Where do... Ah! Wait! Oh, shit.
Don't call off.
Fuck! Ah! Get... Okay, no, that's the shot lock, but fine. Okay.
So grab a drink, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna do something.
I've been curious now.
Oh!
How many people are, like, genuinely, like, super big fans of Kingdom Hearts, and how many are kind of, like, in it for the meme?
I mean, it's kind of both. I have very heartfelt feelings about it, but also the memes.
Here's how I would define it. Kingdom Hearts is something that people think they get into ironically at the start, and then after a while.
The thing was, I was never ironic.
You were never ironic. I'm thinking about other people, but you don't have an ironic bone in your body.
Not really, no.
Kingdom Hearts from the outside, because I never really got that deeply into it. I kind of missed the boat on it as a kid. But Kingdom Hearts to me from the outside has always appeared like one of those gigantic variety candy bags, which is like, I look at it and like it kind of overwhelms me, and like in terms of candy makes me a little bit sick, but then if I started to eat it, I know I would never be able to stop, and that bag would be inside of me in minutes.
Yeah. I think that's a good way. Well, I'm happy that we've managed to get back about 20 people that we lost at least, so that's good.
Say thank you. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Coming back.
Thank you.
So we've been doing a thing every time someone comes on, where we ask them what is their most recent thing that they've released or done, and then what their favorite or piece or the thing they're most proud of that they worked on from last year. So, Benji, do you want to tell us about what your most recent video was and what your favorite piece from last year?
Okay, so my favorite from last year. Well, last year was weird. I mean, 2020. Of course.
No!
But, yeah,
last year was weird? You don't say!
But like in a totally tangential fashion, because I can't even use the apocalypse as a good excuse for my weirdness. I was just being weird, and it coincided with all the other weirdness. So I decided to kind of have a renaissance for my channel last year and change things, which is very dicey. It's a very hard thing to do when you have an established audience to suddenly be like, hey, I'm not doing that anymore, I'm doing this. And a lot of people will stick around for it, and they just want to be there no matter what you do, and a lot of people won't. And you kind of really have to feel out like what you can get away with once you have an established stage. So last year, I think the thing I was proudest of was not really any single video, it was just being able to kind of gracefully make that shift. I made a video about Dracula where like it's just fun stuff. It's just about some of the inspiration for Dracula. Bram Stoker mentions a Transylvania, a basically underground school run by the devil, and it's kind of a side note in the book. I was like, this is weird. Why has nobody talked about this? Why is this not an adaptation? So I had to make a video about it. But the fun thing about it for me was that kicked off a new type of content for me, where I was kind of giving myself freedom to do more stuff. So that was really exciting for me last year. Then
That's awesome.
Year,
like, rebranding is fucking scary and hard to do for anything,
Yeah.
so that's amazing.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the weird thing is, I didn't even actually rebrand that hard. Like, the robot and the parchment aesthetic is all still there and stuff. Yeah. It's very recognizable. But it was just that the material in the videos was a bit different than what people have been used to.
Yeah.
So then, this year, I'm kind of still figuring it out, because part of the rebrand was I introduced a type of content that people didn't care about very much, or that the robots on YouTube weren't into. They didn't care about because it wasn't very keyword heavy or whatever. So I tried this for like 7 or 8 videos, and the community likes it, and like the people who are into Tale Foundry watch it. But I kind of had to reckon with myself and be like, you gotta do something else that works. So this year, and Cuenin was around for this, we had to start making a new type of content, and we just started that last month. So the videos I'm most excited about right now are the last 2 releases we put out. Not even because of the contents of the video, just because we managed to like see what was not going right with the rebrand and course correct like really rapidly, which I don't know, I guess I'm proud of just being able to do it.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job, and like the last 2 videos have paid off for it. So yeah, great job.
You should be proud.
It's been a long journey, you know.
Yeah, and I want to give credit where it's due. Cuenin, you had a huge role in that, just being a snappy editor. Like, you made those videos so fast, I was shocked.
I think I did one of them in like a day.
Yeah.
But it's all thanks to the fact that you have like your pre-existing assets, you know, without all that, like the intro and the background and everything. It would have been a lot more difficult.
I mean, everything for me, like one of the reasons I found you, solicited Tim for you, I guess. I think
that's such a weird turn of phrase.
In a platonic way. In a platonic way.
So what you're saying is that Tim is Cuenin's platonic pimp.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's not even wrong. Like whenever people go, oh, you know, I need an edit, I'm like, you know, if you ever need an edit, I've got one.
We don't have Benji's info for the.
Oh, it's not in the. It's Tale Foundry isn't in the. Who are you?
Well, we can.
Or it might be, but no one posted it.
Oh yeah, mods. If someone could grab Tale Foundry, the Twitter would be Tale Foundry.
Yeah, I got the Twitter link. I'm gonna scroll up and see if I can find it in the Who Are You page.
I think it's one of the first ones
Also,
in
I'm
there.
back.
Well, I've got Cuenin there. I just found it. Yeah, Tale Foundry. Perfect.
Yeah, I respect the channel changing and like our how do you put it? I forgot.
Rebranding.
Rebrand.
Shall we?
Rebrand. It's very brave and very auspicious, and it's something. And the fact that you could turn it
Won't get
into
anywhere without a ship.
you found something like that you're like that you want to reposition it to that you're even more passionate about is something that I think anyone should be looking for in a creator.
I'm also gonna post Cuenin and Hello Future Me's links again as well.
Yay! The whole family.
My link at all?
The whole
Both dads and the son.
what's the family called? What'd you name it? Hold on. Tail Timothy and the Benji Future Boy.
That's us. That's us. That's the team.
Yep.
That is
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
I don't even remember. Benji, how did we first connect?
Also, while you tell the story, I'm gonna be back.
I mean,
just
through
gonna-
Grindr.
I'm gonna be right back.
Nothing really. I'm good.
I don't even remember how we connected on that.
No, it was literally on Twitter. Someone was like, "Who are some underappreciated YouTube channels that you've seen around?" And you posted about me, and I had never heard of Hello Future Me, and so I was like, "Whoa, who's this popular person who knows who I am and why?" And so I reached out.
No.
When was
I
that?
remember. Yeah, you were actually already pretty big when I was starting out. Like, I think you were already post 100k when I started. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Your like rise was meteoric.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was pretty shocking. It was pretty shocking for me, you know, like just how it all happened. A lot of things coincided at the right time for me, and I was very fortunate that it happened.
I think it's one part fortune and one part just really good sense on your part. I think I've learned a lot by watching the way you do things.
I've learned a lot from you too, man. You know, like I always, as you know, I always read your scripts and I'm like, I wish I could so artfully say all these things. Of course, it is simultaneously met with me going, cut this paragraph.
Yeah, but I also learn like practical things from you. Like the things I learned from you, I can take and go and like make money with. So
oh, you mean like when you go like, you know, why do you reference these people? And I go, well, it just gives what I already want to say more credibility.
Or more, well, like I guess one of the things I learned from you that's really great is like you have kind of a base of content that you know works. So if you're ever like in a down period or something like that, like you can always go back to this base and it will always resonate with your audience and kind of spread and stuff like that. And for me, I always like to be like, I always like to be, I guess, explorative, if that's a word.
Changing, experimenting.
Yeah. Yeah, and as fun as that is, it's also kind of not very sustainable a lot of the time because you might be putting your foot into water that doesn't have anything in it to bite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm putting something Twitch into here, which is a completely different thing than like the way that content relates to YouTube and how it works. I find it interesting how that like mentality has to shift between the two for what works and what doesn't, and how you explore that, you know?
Yeah, honestly, Twitch, I use it, but it's still kind of an enigma to me, like because I know my job is YouTube, so I haven't given Twitch the time it really needs to figure out how to like proliferate on it as a medium and stuff. But I will say, I don't know if this is the place to like plug something, but there is a big Twitch writing conference coming up that I'm really excited about. I don't know how much I can share about it, but it's called Conduit, and the idea is kind of just like connecting a bunch of writing Twitches together and doing like a chain raid across all of them, which is just such a cool idea.
Yeah, so I was about to say that is a lot of the what I like about the Twitch ecosystem a lot of times is that it is so communal. But yeah, I mean, you kind of live and die off of interaction with other creators.
Yeah.
Really, really. And like I mostly exist in a supportive role to a lot of other channels and things, right? Like I do my own thing and it's fun, but it's like not that big of a deal. But I am connected to a lot of like bigger channels that are just making partner or have made partner, that sort of thing, and it's really interesting how much of it is about connecting community and how Twitch has built that into the platform. I mean, rating is like such a huge part of it. And because it's so interactive too, like you get a lot more of those instances of getting to interact with other creators directly with a more like natural thing of like people inviting people onto panels, and so you once you know one person, you end up meeting another person, and another person, and another person. And I find it interesting how a lot of like YouTube creators have kind of started doing that, but through charity streaming and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, streaming is still fairly new to me, but I've talked to a lot of other streamers at this point, and I've talked to some who have like burnt out completely and given up the platform. And a sentiment I run into a lot is like, if I could just get rated one time by like one substantial channel, that would like change my life, which is so interesting. Because on YouTube, my experience is completely the opposite. In fact, a big shout out from a huge channel like Mr. Beast can actually be a death sentence, because all these people will come over, they won't care about your content at all, they'll subscribe, and what YouTube will see is you'll have a bunch of people who subscribe and then never watch a video.
Yeah.
And like it can just be a terrible thing for you. And collaborations I've done in the past on YouTube have just such a small yield because of the like content loyalty people have on YouTube, where like no matter how much you trust the person suggesting the content, it's not the person, so you're not gonna watch it.
Some of the biggest jump in views I had on my my latest video, Danish Girl video essay I had, was because Curio shared the video on their YouTube community platform, and they jumped it up from like a 2,000, 3,000 view video to like 7,000 in the first like couple days.
What's important with that too is what is the community that the individual creator curates, and a lot of YouTubers have curated a very insular type of community, right? Whereas there are people, like I would say Curio, that when they push people to other content, they tend to get a little bit more traction with that people actually going to watch the content, not just like subscribing arbitrarily. But I do think it's kind of sad because YouTube so heavily like discredits trying to work together or improve each other. It's a very out for your own type of space from what I've seen, and that might be just an outsider perspective, right?
It's not inaccurate.
No, it's definitely not. Even like with creators I'm close to, like you'd think like Tim and I would be, champing at the bit to find ways to, collaborate all the time and dip into each other's pools, but like it's not worth as much as appealing to the robots, the robot gods platform.
Yeah, well, from my perspective, because my perspective is, I've watched a lot of stuff, and I also know a shit ton about the code behind it. It is like you are at the mercy of
anyone else
really thought through machine learning algorithms that are almost worth it. Like
for a smaller creator like me, it is almost impossible to get recommended by the algorithm. I've never been recommended a video with less than 5,000 views.
I feel that.
Also, was somebody about to ask a question before, or did I miss you?
Oh, I was gonna ask Benji because
Benji's internet had cut out.
Oh no. And
Benji, are you back?
Yeah. I cut out for just a sec.
Okay.
What was your most recent video? Because I know we talked a little bit, but I'm just curious, like what we talked about how you're proud about the branding instead of any specific individual piece. But I'm just curious, what is your most recent video so people can go check it out and actually know what they're going to watch?
Oh yeah, I completely glossed over that, didn't I? The most recent video is about sympathetic magic. So in the book The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, he has this really interesting idea that I thought the first time I read it he pretty much came up with, about the relationship between things and how we kind of create a bridge between them by intuiting them as the same thing. And the best example of this I can give is like, if you can really believe one coin is another coin, then when you lift one up into the air, the other will lift up into the air as well. And there's more.
I've heard a few books that use that. I don't know all of them, but that's such a cool concept to me as well.
I got so many comments that were like, "You're totally wrong. It's not from this book. It's from that one." It's like, I'm not even saying he came up with it. It's just an idea he happened across and put in the book. But like, the cool thing I found was that it's such a cultural like mainstay like across the world. So many cultures think like in their magical thinking there is sympathetic magic where they'll find import in things or expect an effect between things because they're similar. And so like some of the best examples of this are obviously like some of the more malicious uses of voodoo, but then there's also like, you know, beneficent uses of it as well. But then there's stuff that like Pliny the Elder says, if you get wounded with a weapon and you spit on the hand that was holding the weapon, it will surely bring you some relief, you know? So it's just interesting magical thinking, and I think there's room to dream there. I think that's kind of an interesting well to plumb.
That's awesome. Yeah. But I think we've kind of been sometimes limited with like what type of magic systems a mainstream audience wants to engage with, to a degree. Like the sort of hyper like logical, you know, it's basically a science thing. Can be cool, and I really like a lot of those systems. But I think it'd be nice to see more stuff that touches on like emotion and feeling and how that relates to magic, because that's a lot of what older cultures about this stuff have believed and thought about it. You know, that sort of more nebulous space for magic.
I think the video that most excites my jealousy demons on YouTube is the one Tim made about soft and hard magic systems. Because it's a very good video and a very good premise, and I read the script for that while he was working on it. I was like, oh yeah, this is good, but you know, like, we both know this is like a fringe thing that we're interested in because we're nerds.
Well,
I mean, it's like the most popular thing ever.
It was shocking because, you know, me and Ellie had been working on that for ages. It was actually a conversation that she and I had been having for a long time, and then sort of got you involved as well. And I didn't think that was necessarily going to take off, but it's interesting. The term soft world building, like, I find other people using the term after that video came out. Like, there's been a couple of times in which I've found people using terms I've sort of created for videos, and that one, and there's nothing more validating for me. So I'm very proud of that video.
It was a phenomenal
But
video.
it was a collaborative effort. I want to be clear. Like, I credit even at the start that it's written by me and my friend Ellie. You know?
That's Oh, go ahead.
No. You go ahead, because I have a point to build off of that. Like, I didn't just write it by myself statement. Like, but I'll expand on it when you finish what you're saying.
So, where like lit theory is concerned, and talking about like genre and fantasy and stuff like that, especially fiction, because it's so far from a science, there's one side of the field where people are trying really hard to make it complicated and systematize it and stuff, and it doesn't actually feel very good. And this is something I know because I tried to do it for quite a long time until I kind of gave in to just not having the language for things sometimes and that being okay. But this is one of the few cases where it's like, it really feels good, and I think it's because it came about pretty naturally. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this is just kind of a conversation you started to have based on something you were seeing. So instead of trying to come up with some term to define some part of the field, you were just like, what is this? What are we trying to talk about here?
It was partly like watching Studio Ghibli films and fairy tales and looking at and going like, hey, why are these stories and worlds work so much? And trying to figure out, because the world building discussions online have a heavy emphasis on like things being logical, things being consistent, things all working together, and the reader being able to intuitively figure that stuff out. And we were finding all of these stories which like really didn't do that, and we were like, okay, why? There's a different type of world building here. What is it underneath that layer that that works here? There's a different style, a different method, and yeah, like it was, and so we were like, how's that work? And also we felt that there was this sort of pressure put on people who wanted to world build to be like, you need to do it in this particular way to have a well-built world. And we're like, no. Like the world in Spirited Away is a beautifully rich, immersive world, but it's not rich and immersive because it's got a complex linguistic system that we know from Elvish. It's got something else.
Well, I think it's I think sometimes people don't ask why are you doing something with writing. To me, Tolkien's linguistic history and everything is part of expressing thematics about his world. It's kind of integral, because that being there works for the feeling of this is a grand history, and it works for a lot of what it's doing, which is this huge world with very complex, detailed things, but when it comes down to it, it's really about the human interpersonal connections in between all of that. So he's building those things for a purpose, and it usually supplies more, not less, to what he's talking about. That sense of this world has been here a long time and is kind of slowly fading and dying. Part of that is having a rich, very, very detailed history that you can engage with or not engage with if you want. And I think the best spot to see that is in The Hobbit, right? All of those elements exist, but The Hobbit's just focused on the interpersonal stuff. But those other things kind of work in the background towards helping with its purpose. Whereas I think a lot of people are just trying to make it because they're people like worlds with detailed, specific stuff, and I'm like, well, no, but is that doing anything for your story?
Yeah, there's a weird side of this that I've not thought too deeply about, but has been lingering at the back of my mind, where fandom in the last 2 decades or so has really emerged as a force for consumption. Just being able to engage in a community, to be able to have a conversation about something, to be able to make content about something, having a well of material and information to plumb has become this super valuable thing to a lot of people, to the point where I don't even know how much enjoyment some people who are really deep into the Star Wars expanded universe are extracting out of their knowledge of it. It's just kind of the thing they do, it's kind of how they engage with the medium, and they have all these feelings they harbor. They have all the love for the original creations, the actual IP creations for Star Wars, but all this tertiary stuff, it's just how they continue to engage with the thing they love, because how else do you once the movie ends?
I think there's also a really interesting discussion to be had about how fandom simultaneously responds to the media that it loves, and also creates the media that it loves, and that's it's not just in what's canon, but what's the cultural understanding of of what the thing actually is.
How do you mean? I'm bad at parsing things.
I need to interrupt for a second.
What's up?
I'm gonna have to take a step away. My headphones are dying again, and I will be back for I'll be gone for 10 minutes, and I'll be back for the rest of until I go to sleep.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I know that feeling.
I just need my advantage for 10 minutes without anyone realizing why.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's just I think the problem is that people see, something is working, and they conflate that with that's what should be done, rather than going, well, why is it working for that story, and what is its purpose in that story? And then you throw in that fandom aspect, and I think there is an aspect of the more in depth your lore stuff is, the more that a fandom can kind of interact with it in that way.
Mm-hmm. And then they inform it and create it, and it becomes this big conglomerate beast that nobody knows who's making it or how or where it's weird because at some point it sort of becomes like a self-consuming creative process where somebody came up with all this material, this deep well to plumb, and then people are adding onto it by plumbing it, right? Like people are pulling things out of the lore and being like, oh, but did you see how these two elements are connected or what have you? And I'm not saying that stuff is without value. Obviously it is, because like, look, you know, how people consume it so voraciously, but it's interesting how it becomes so insular at some point where it's like almost
what we're talking about is something can be good on its own, but there's a point where it kind of dips into a problematic element or an unhelpful element, and that's kind of what we're seeing with certain fandoms in these things, where they expect all stories and systems to function the same as their current favorite thing, and that kind of limits creativity. And you know, to me, it's like the systems of a world need to reflect what you're trying to say about things. So a more soft magic system can really contribute to that. To take this in another direction, though, because I saw some stuff in chat about soft magic systems and DMing. I think with tabletop role-playing games, I think there's an obsession with the sort of D&D style of like very, very combat, character building and all that stuff. And to me, as someone who much prefers storytelling and tabletop role-playing game is that I think it does require a very big shift in focus. Like, you need to understand how that style of collaborative storytelling works. Like, for example, in the current campaign that I'm playing, our DM like confides in me a lot about stuff, talk about like things going on and plans and stuff, and I will play up certain bits to purposefully cause stuff to happen for the DM for a storytelling purpose, because I am there to tell the most interesting story I can, and that's what I'm interested in. So are the rest of the players. And so we had a moment where my friend Patrick was worried that his character was getting too much of focus and like too many epic moments, and that it was dragging focus to the rest of us. And all of us went, no, actually, we're just like really having fun with this story and the way that this happened. Yeah. We keep setting you up for those moments. And we brought up like the last time it had happened. It's like, yeah, you were the primary focus for that entire combat scene. Like, what happened was we had taken a ship from the Silverlight Cartel and then went to their base pretending to be them, and we managed to get them to refuel our ship for free, but they were like, oh, we need to send extra guards with you in case other people kind of come after the what we'd stolen was basically a ship with a shit ton of weaponry that was being taken out to a I was in a fight with somebody else, and so the ship was basically smuggling guns, and we stole the ship with all the guns, but we needed a way of refueling the ship, and so now we've got a bunch of people on board. So then we had an entire session where it was us fighting them, and we killed this crew that we brought along after we gotten far away, but they managed to disable the ship by throwing a grenade into the engine, and so now we've got Silverlight bearing down on us, but luckily we were in a system where I had previously assisted some naval officers on a specific planet deal with like an outbreak of like a zombie-like virus. And so they're sending ships, and we know they're going to get here eventually, but we can't do much. And one of our players is a psychic who teleports, and is based around like Norse culture and stuff, and they worship artificial intelligence as gods. They call Odin. Right. It's a really fun world to exist in, and so we've got the ship coming to us, and they think so. We managed to mesh them and pretend that we've killed the other people, but we disabled the ship, and that we need their help getting the guns off the ship. And so we let them come and get the gear, but we plant a thing that lets us see into the other ship, and so it forced them to stop beside us, and then Patrick's character teleports into the other ship and just starts like destroying all the insides. And
ludicrous.
But the entire thing was me planning it out as my character, like telling him what to do and everything, because and it was great. Like it was really fun, and we had like you know, the pilot character telling him where to go in the ship to disable certain systems and everything. But yeah, technically, like in a lot of groups, I think that wouldn't work because they'd be so obsessed with the like idea of like everyone's got to be the big cool person rather than like we're here to tell a fun story and we care about all our characters.
Yeah, I've been DMing. I was the person who brought up the idea in like in chat while I was grabbing some food for myself. I've been years ago. I was a professional DM for children and trying to like balance expectations and things. That was so good. Used to teach history through role-playing games,
That's
including
a
live
thing
action
that my
role-playing.
history teacher did, and my sister hated it.
Why?
Because honestly, it felt a little bit like mind games sometimes. He would do like, okay, raise your hand if you don't want to participate in the Civil War, and I would raise my hand, and he's like, all right, she's a deserter. Let's roll a dice to see if she lives.
That's the shitty handling of it. It's a good idea, but that's very manipulative and weird.
Here's a really important.
You need to be able to like actually opt in.
Here's a really important aspect about all role-playing games. It's about consent. Like,
yeah.
Really heavily about consent. Every time you see like bad situations with role-playing groups, it is almost always a consent issue, and it is almost always like that's a really big red flag for treating other human beings in general.
I
can't look.
Yep.
I think one of the worst experiences I've heard of, and this is very mild, I'm sure there are much worse, but I had a friend who told me they'd never want to play D&D again because the first GM they had played with made their character in the night start doing things to other characters, like stealing stuff from them and harming them and stuff, and it's like, I don't want my character to do that. You can't just make my character do things for your story.
That's called god modding. It's frowned upon.
That's very bad practice. Like that is.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I heard it called god modding.
That's a decent
That might have been an old chat room term.
I mean, I would love to have a term to describe it because it is, like one of the yuckiest things I've heard of in D&D.
Well, yeah, because it's all about like communication. I think there's also an aspect of like there are groups. This goes both ways, where either the DM wants way too much control and basically just wants to write a book and have people stick around, or the players have no respect for the DM and don't treat the DM as a fellow player. And
which they are.
That's so frustrating. That's so frustrating whenever it happens.
And it is complicated. Like these are complicated interpersonal situations, and role playing is quite emotionally fraught. And
it's intense. It's really intense. You're putting a lot of yourself in there.
Yeah.
Kind of inevitably, and you know you're bouncing off others who may ruin your day.
Anyway,
kind of go on.
But to bring it back around, just before we completely lose the point of this, because I want to discuss the soft magic system. I think with the right group, a soft magic system is absolutely more than doable, and but it wouldn't be in a D&D system. It would be more about a storytelling system and a partial success, partial failure type of like role system.
Yeah.
Like very heavily about storytelling.
Apocalypse World is a really good system to set
something
that.
like that. I think you could do something really interesting, going off the style of magic system that's in something like the Inheritance Cycle, for example. I know there's other books. That's just the one that pops in my head to explain that system.
God damn it! I'm going to lose this again. Ah! Fuck you, Luxord! Fuck you! Ugh, this is so dumb. I hate this. Anyway,
You're such a little
continue.
shit.
Sorry, continue.
No, you are all good. You don't have to apologize.
I hate the ships in Pirates. Whatever. Keep talking about magic systems while I suck, because Luxord sucks.
But there, right? There, it's really important that it's about I think you can really build a system there that like a lot of the magic can be applied significantly more outside of combat, as well as in combat, right? Think about that's sort of this would be really, really interesting where it takes like a certain amount of energy to attempt something, if that makes sense.
I had a very interesting. I'm sorry, let me interrupt.
No, please go. It's problem with Discord, and I'm in Canada, so I'm going to be in a different server region, so I get more lag than the rest of you.
Okay, well, no worries. I had a really interesting experience with a system that I don't know if anyone has ever heard of. It's called the Tower, and you basically use like a playing card deck, and as the game progresses, players choose and acquire cards, and you have a key as a GM, so you kind of know what these different cards mean in the end, and it helps you make decisions. But the really cool thing about the system is we collaborated the whole time as we went. So it was just a group of pretty close friends. And we would just say, like, scene by scene, before the scene started, we would know kind of what we were getting into. We'd have a backdrop for the scene. And then I would say, like, oh, okay, am I okay to, like, my character is a singer and she used to be an angel. Am I cool to, like, deafen people? And the GM will be like, well, momentarily, I'll the story, you know, as you go, and I'll tell you how it pans out. So it was really cool because I didn't have a character sheet or anything, and we were still able to have actually one of the best role-playing experiences I've ever had, because everyone was very engaged in just creating these scenes together instead of you know, figuring out moment by moment what they could do, how far their next like range of their next attack, whatever. Even outside of combat, I find in D&D sometimes the systems you use to keep players in line, to keep them from breaking the game and whatever, can get in the way of just having a good group improv experience.
Do you want to know one of the most interesting sets of sessions I've run? Every once in a while, when we have a session that we have to cancel because primary people aren't there for whatever reason, I will run what I like to call Absolute Chaos All Bards. Absolute Chaos All Bards is a campaign where everyone is a bard or a bard adjacent. So we've got warlocks and artificers built around music. So the artificers are like roadies and stuff.
Oh my god. Let's go.
It's set in a very clear analog for our university that we go to. Like very, very directly an analog. But it's set in my D&D world, and it is just maximum improv, completely ridiculous. I do not prepare anything. We just walk in and we're like, what are we doing? What's going on? And a lot of it is just because I know that the players will think of something interesting they want to do, and then we'll just go do it. So we've had sessions where they've gone out to get like ingredients to make pyrotechnics for their next big like performance. or we had sessions where, I kid you not, the entire session was just us playing dice games in the bar of the university while I am role-playing several people they're playing against, and everyone is hamming it up. If you want a really fucking fun time, play just a card game or dice game or board game, whatever it is. Like one that fits into a world like that as your characters. It is a fucking fun time. It's hilarious. You can do stuff like you can do shit talk that doesn't feel mean because it's very clearly like separated and it's a character, and you're almost playing two games at once. You're doing this like storytelling thing and stuff, but you're also engaging with like a fun dice game or a board game. But like the dice game and card game are way more fun because if you win, right, you're not betting money, you're betting your character's money, which means you can buy resources. You win. And so it is a fun time. I love it. So the two primary characters that they go and play games with are a gnome. I'm gonna go pull up the names. I have the most if you think Ringo Bingo is the peak.
While you're pulling up those names, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to ML Am I Real ? Who gave us $20 or put $20 towards Trans Lifeline and said loving the trans rights and nerd combo smiley face.
Thank
is there
you.
a better
ML Am I Real?
Let's do this. We got him now.
But
real quick, I don't want to interrupt. I'm gonna hop off for a little bit and have some dinner. But I'll either be back after that or in the morning.
Well, it was really, really, really nice getting to meet you, Cuenin. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. I'll hopefully be back on soon. But yeah, have fun, guys.
Thanks.
See ya.
Catch you later, bud.
Someone repost Cuenin's links, please. In the.
I appreciate it. Love you guys. See ya.
Also, if somebody wants to scroll up in the chat, I think it was the Doodle Fox posted some fan art of Ringo Bingo. I am trying not to die, so I can't.
Oh my god, yes! Yes! I love it! Hashtag Ringo Bingo Hut. Okay, okay, I've got the 2 characters' names. I'm not explaining the one character's name, just know it has a long history and it has to do with my dad, and my dad makes ridiculous characters. I mean the most ridiculous characters. So the one character is a gnome. I'm Fizbo Baldin. It's nice to meet you. And he just talks in some horrid voice.
Gilbert
Real annoying when he loses. He's a little bit like Gilbert Gottfried, but he's different. He's Fizbo Baldins. he rolls the dice real good. And you best not try anything sneaky, because I'll catch you.
God.
and his best friend. So I guess I have to explain. My dad, my brother, and I, while very drunk, when we first played D&D, my dad's character name was, I can't remember what the first name of that character's name was, but his last name was McNutt, and he has, he's a dwarf.
Good.
His clan, the McNutts, they braid their hair into their pubes.
What? Braid their hair into their pube? So it's like a
beard
kiwi.
down. Yeah, like the beard all the way down. Yeah, it's all interconnected, and it's to protect their belly button, where their souls are contained. That's what they believe.
You should leave with that because it sounds ridiculous up until that point.
Right? So, like, I love my dad. It's fucking ridiculous. So anyway, so now there's a bunch of McNuts all over my world that pop up every once in a while. So, Colin McNutt, best gambler in the town. How are you doing? This boy gets a little excited, but he's fine. What are you saying about me, Colin? So imagine these 2 fucking doofuses talking to you while you're playing a dice game. And that's all bards. I don't know. I
know
just
about it. That sounds amazing.
It's such a ridiculous. Someday I'll stream a run of that because it'd be funny.
I mean, it sounds quite funny. I'm just very focused right now on trying not to die. As you can see, I'm not doing great.
Do you want some more of the characters? Because they get better.
Better than Gilbert Gottfried?
Yes. So
go on.
So one of my characters, this is Patrick's character in this game. His ex-girlfriend is like the main girl of the university, and her name is Rebecca Fleur. Oh my god.
That's a name.
These fucking losers think they can play instruments, and they just fucking can't. Like, how dare you?
This is just turning into like Schitt's Creek.
And then her boyfriend, Chadathan Brentworth, cunt roll the 5th of Taintly.
Wow!
Ew.
Okay, I am afraid I'm probably going to duck out this dinner time over here, but thank you very much for doing everything you do.
Thank you for
you're doing
coming.
really well. Thank you for coming. It's been really good.
I've
really enjoyed. Goodbye, future Foundry.
I'm pretty sure that's actually like another channel or brand or something.
Yeah, that actually has a pretty good ring to it. I don't mind it.
Someday.
Alright, have a good one, guys, and thank you everyone who's been watching and donating. You guys are incredible. It's a great cause, and you know, just keep doing what you can. Yeah. Right,
yeah, everybody, please keep sharing and you know, donate if you can. Thank you. Have a good night, Tim.
It was really nice to meet you, Tim. Have a good one.
Oh my goodness gracious.
This is why I should be out of main character.
Sorry, what? 2 people said things at once. Okay, somebody say something. I didn't hear either thing.
Nobody said anything.
I was saying, what a lovely conversation that was.
Ah, okay. Cool.
I'm back.
Emily's back! Yay!
Noah from Polyphonic is saying he's good to join in whenever. Harker's already gone over. Perfect.
Hell yeah.
What I was gonna say is, I want to do actually something. I have some pills with me. These are my HRT. I'm gonna take them live on stream.
Hell yeah.
In a section I like to call, "Fuck you, TERFs."
J.K. Rowling?
You want me to talk about J.K. Rowling?
Oh, you don't have to.
We already spent a time earlier talking about fuck J.K. Rowling.
Here's the gist of it. I and a bunch of
the two spironolactone.
Recently made an hour and 15-minute video on all of the TERF rhetoric in her letter and exactly how it functions and what the purpose of it is and why she wrote it the way she did and
200 milligrams.
J.K. Rowling is very good at politely saying horrible hatred.
Yeah.
100.
Parker, is Polyphonic ready to join?
Just grabbing some water, which reminds me, folks, make sure you're hydrated. Drink some water if you can, eat some food if you can, take any meds you gotta take.
This is the worst part. I am going to put in my estradiol, which is my favorite, which is of course the favorite pill of mine, but I have to dissolve it underneath my tongue, so I will talk to the list for the next 2 minutes.
This is the regular.
And stretch, move, take deep breaths, and you are loved and wonderful and trans rights.
Yeah.
I nearly dropped my pills on the ground.
No, Emily!
Not
You
the
need
milk
them!
pills.
Those are your bimbo pills!
We should explain to chat that is Emily's term for it. We're not saying that arbitrary.
Also, is it Emily or Sophie who...
Officially bimbo pills, okay?
Said it once to us while we were in a call.
I mostly got that from Sophie, honestly.
Yeah, Sophie's the one that does it more.
Sophie is the one that coined that.
Yeah.
The Feminems, that one's pretty popular too. Skittles, yeah.
Feminems!
Oh dear.
That's very good.
Eminem is actually when Eminem transitions.
I'm just, oh my god, there's so much.
Eminems would actually be a pretty cool Riot Girl band.
Why are these so hard? They just look like regular Heartless Luxord! Why?
I'm gonna switch to my phone, so I might be slightly unresponsive, and I'm gonna go cook dinner.
Yeah.
Good move.
I'm probably gonna be gone in like.
Emily, you're okay with that? I've gotta.
Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah, I'll be done around like 1 a.m. So I'll push it back an hour. I can get a little less sleep. My goal is just so I can be back here for like the last 3 hours of the stream. I want to be on when we reach our goal, when we reach our end.
This is looking
I'm very scared of missing so many guests.
challenging.
It was. Also,
Well, let's not forget,
anonymous
this is
for
a
the
charity
$5.
stream. Please donate.
Hey, please donate.
Sorry,
We're raising
I
money
just
for Trans
realized-
Lifeline. Hey, thank you to Mr. Turnext Dog for $20.
I just realized unprompted that I just stated the baby because my mom sent me a photo of Ripley.
I didn't even hear you say it, so it's okay.
Ripley is Devinock's dog.
Yes, my family's dog is named Ripley. Because we didn't know if we what dog we were getting. We just knew we were getting a Basenji, and so we wanted a neutral name, and so we chose Ripley as in Ellen Ripley, who, by the way, is canonically non-binary according to the writer and actor. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to point out that we're at the point of the game where Sora has to collect crabs.
So they didn't really have a word for it at the time, but remember, most of the alien cast, except for Ash, were purposefully cast without gender in mind. Completely, just like they just wanted whoever could perform the character best. and Ripley was supposed to be very. They weren't sure where they were going to go with that character, but when Sigourney Weaver came in, she played it super like she was trying to play it as well, as we would refer to it now as non-binary, but like very androgynous and very like no real femininity or masculinity that is inherent to it. And she has confirmed that, like, yeah, if they had the words at the time, they would have called Ellen Ripley non-binary. And I'm like, that's fucking dope. And it's totally in the text too. Like, that's not. You can really see it in the movie.
That makes the weird climax scene, like the panty shots and stuff of her, feel really shoehorned in. Like they already did. The movie was already very like they had enough violation throughout the movie not to need, you know. So it was. But
it is important to note there that would have happened whether or not the character was a woman or a man. So,
was that just written into the script?
That was just written into the script. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually respect that a lot more now.
This is why I really fucking like Alien as a franchise. Alien is really fucking interesting. Like Alien and Aliens are really interesting
get Polyphonic
films. And
wait, yeah. Sorry, they're getting Polyphonic. Also, I'm collecting crabs. I must stress this for you all. I am collecting crabs. That's a thing I'm doing right now.
Enjoy yourself, but be responsible and do visit a doctor at some point.
Again!
I was about to say, that's when my dad and I play Civilization. Oh, hi.
We got Noah from Polyphonic.
Hey!
Hi! Before we go off on more tangents, Noah, really quickly, can you introduce yourself to the chat, tell everybody what you do and stuff?
Hey, yeah, my name is Noah. My pronouns are he, him. I am a music YouTuber. I do heavily stylized video essays about music, kind of explaining lyrics, talking about history, and specifically over the last few years, kind of making a concerted effort to talk about the intersection between social justice and music history.
Right. And you have some of the coolest fucking animations on YouTube, and also I was really excited when you put out that piece on sea shanties as it relates to Canadian music.
Oh, thank you.
It does not get discussed enough, and as a Canadian person who knows a bit about that, it was like,
oh yeah. Stan Rogers is a national treasure for Canadians.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't hear Barrett's Privateers and want to sing along, it's like, come on. It's like that and Tragically Hip are like two really hard cutthroat cultural touchstones.
I like how I'm one of the few Americans who knows Tragically Hip. I feel proud about that. Which I got it from Craft Shops.
Yeah, honestly, like the hip are particularly good if you're Canadian, but I really believe there's a universal appeal to them. I think Gord Downey writes really human songs.
Well, I think he just talks about human experiences really heavily. I mean, because he's always very personal. Like, he's telling a lot of the songs are about actual stories of people or experiences that have occurred to them. And
the ads watch Polyphonic, right? I just want to make sure I can compile them for the tweet.
Yep. At Watch Polyphonic on Twitter and anything else.
You're not keeping tweeting them all day. I'll do this one.
Oh, you'll do this one? Perfect, thank you. I'll just retweet it. So, what was I going to say? Every time we've had a new guest on, we've been asking them, what is your most recent video or project that you've just finished, and what was your favorite piece or your most proud piece from the last year or so?
Okay, so my most recent one I dropped yesterday was a video on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yes, and specifically about how you can read the song as a queer story, talking about Freddie Mercury kind of coming to terms with his own identity as a queer man. And it's also one of the things that I'm most proud of. Visually, it's perhaps the most impressive thing I've ever done, the most difficult thing. But I also want to shout out my Run the Jewels video, because that video... Thank you.
I've been a fan of Run the Jewels since like 2014, 2015, so like I love that shit so much.
Thank you. Yeah, that one LP actually commented on it and said like, thanks for doing this. You get that, and that was I can retire after that. That was the single coolest thing that's ever happened to me. How's the streaming going?
Well, it went down for a minute because there's been a lot of wind and it knocked out my Wi-Fi. But other than that, I'm in Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm collecting crabs because this is a thing that Pirates of the Caribbean asks you to do. Jack is made of crabs. I'm not kidding you.
What?
He's going to collapse into a pile of crabs. This is not.
Is this
What?
canon?
Pretty sure in the third movie he's like
yeah,
rides
no.
on crabs or something.
Well, so basically, because Calypso in Kingdom Hearts 3, or in Pirates of the Caribbean 3, which this is sort of trying to do, it's sort of trying to be Pirates of the Caribbean 3, Calypso sort of like is a pile of crabs at one point. And what we find out is when Jack collapses into a pile of crabs, we are told that this is actually not the real Jack. This is just the Jack that Calypso sent to help us on our journey.
This is honestly some deep Pirates of the Caribbean lore, and I'm living for it.
I wish it was Pirates of the Caribbean lore. I fucking wish. I would love that so much. Honestly, one of my favorite things in Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically that I think is really funny, just because it doesn't work, but like, they keep trying to shoehorn in this thing of like, man, Sora's really like X character in this franchise, and in this one, they say he's like Jack. Yeah, sure, the innocent sunshine child is like the rum-drinking asshole Jack Sparrow. Yeah, I really see the similarities there, Tetsuya Nomura. Wow. Like, Sora's never been sad in his life. He will be sad, like really sad for the first time in this game. It's a lot, by the way, but like, he's just a sweet boy who just wants to like protect his friends. He's total himbo, like no thoughts, head empty all day long, but like he's a good boy. They also say he's like Woody at points in the Toy Story world. They just keep like pointing at a character in every world that you go to, and someone will be like, man, they sure are like, it's like, no, they're not.
I know like next to nothing about Kingdom Hearts. I think I watched Patrick's and Sage's video on it, but that's the extent of my knowledge.
I mean, that's a good place to be. I had Aronak and Emily watch the video by the Game Grumps fella. It's called like
Barry
the Good
Kramer.
Enough Summary. Yeah, Barry Kramer. It's called Good Enough
He's no
Summary
longer
of
part
Kingdom
of Game
Hearts.
Grumps, he's a pretty great guy.
I'm honestly unfamiliar of his work outside of the Kingdom Hearts animations because I'm a child with one special interest.
With Aaron and Dan, but he went off to do his own thing. But he used to edit for Game Grumps, I believe.
He also made
and
the
he was also on one
Our
of the
House.
Oh god.
This game is cursed.
I like how the mere mention of that video.
No, I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
going,
God.
oh god, because I hit a tree and Goofy said the crabs are getting away.
It was fitting.
Joey's
It's
a
fitting,
good
though.
guy.
You know the video. It is fitting. For you.
I'm listening. I'm going to be muted while I wash dishes because I have no dishwasher and I have to wash all of my dishes in order to cook anytime.
You're fine.
Yay.
You're fine, B. We got 2 mods here. You're good. Go do
gotcha.
things. So I believe at 10,000, if we hit 10,000, which, I mean, at the rate we're going, I don't know if we will, donate if you want to hear me try to explain all of Kingdom Hearts. That's the goal for 10,000.
That's
Right
amazing.
now at 4K, LK will read one of her fanfics.
Short fanfics, yeah. A one-shot.
Oh.
It's
That's
honestly, it's. I tend to write sappy,
nothing
angsty
steamy.
stuff and like vaguely like poetical. I'm always trying to be poetical. Oh hey, Polyphonic, thank you.
No problem.
But yeah, it's like, what? What just happened?
I read the donation message. It's good.
Oh, please read it out loud.
I'll share with the class. Polyphonic donated $100 and said for Goofy's crafts.
You should have seen what Goofy looked like in Monsters, Inc. That was really cursed.
I'm just commenting Goofy, and that is it.
Where are my friends?
You were telling us about your fan fictions. I want to hear more of this.
Oh, I mean, it's not as, like, salacious or funny as you would expect. I mean, I've made a lot of jokes publicly about the Rogue One fic just because it's really long, and I was sad after Rogue One, so I just inserted them into the OG trilogy, and it took 300,000 words to do. It's really long. I'm proud of it because it's the longest thing I've ever written, but it definitely takes a couple chapters before I figured out what I was doing. The one that I was thinking I would read would be just one of the ones I did for The Haunting of Hill House, because again, I was sad, and also they're short. I remember liking the one shot I wrote for Nell.
I don't know. I want to hear you read the entirety of your 300,000 word Rogue One fan fiction live on stream.
That would take longer than 24 hours. That would take a very long time.
And
I want to sleep. I want to sleep at some point. I said 24 hours, not 48. I would like to sleep at some point. Also, the wind keeps going and fucking with the internet. I'm really, really hoping that doesn't happen again, but I just heard it be loud outside, so I live in fear.
I will say, I remember when you people made jokes about, like, oh, if it's not salacious, we should find something salacious. So I remember looking up worst steamy fanfics, and I discovered one on Reddit that was titled Twilight and Wheel of Fortune. And I am actually going to I am not going to read it on stream, but I may check it out on my own time, just because.
I'm just saying, the streamer is ace, so, like, we need to find content that is funny and not horny. Like, I don't mind cursed, but no horned. I will not horned.
This is.
I am wholesome like my good sword boy Sora.
Okay, this is why I was being like, nope, we're not doing.
I know that's why. I know that's why.
Because I relate. I understand how you feel.
I am wholesome and sweet like the good boy Sora.
So I said I wouldn't, but I also thought it was funny enough that I had to mention it.
No, I mean, the concept is hilarious. I definitely don't want to discover it up close, but conceptually, that is very funny.
I already read Cardor Man Hook Hand on stream as well.
Well, so at 5,000, I'm gonna read. Yeah, so at 4,000, I'm gonna read the fanfic. At 5,000, I'm gonna read the best review of Jupiter Ascending that's ever been written.
Ooh,
it's so good,
Emily.
It's so good.
I want Does Bruno Mars's. It's such a phenomenal piece of.
I think you guys have, or somebody has. Definitely, I've heard that post. I don't know if it's through you guys or through one of my other friends.
It was probably because of us, but it's Game Grumps has. Yes, I played you the Game Grumps video of them reading Does Bruno Mars is Gay, and it is so funny on its own. Like, it is the most bonkers set of sentences where you're like, those are words.
Also, October Oddity, we haven't fully decided on Ringo Bingo's filmography. That's going to be saved for Aronof's documentary about the works of the greatest Italian filmmaker, Ringo Bingo. We have to save something for down the line.
Hive. We will get to it.
Yeah, Ringo Bingo Hive. Trust me, it'll happen.
I want to bring this up because Noah, I know you're really focused on music, and Ringo Bingo is prolific for composing all of his own films. I'm curious what you think about.
We can't spring this on him without some explanation. Noah, what have you seen on Twitter? Are you completely confused?
I am completely in the dark about Ringo Bingo.
Okay, now explain.
2 nights ago, because Emily and Lady Night and I call each other and then talk way too late.
Chaos one.
I was trying to explain that Emily had been telling me about Italian directors that she was watching, and I didn't know any of the names, and I wanted to make up a funny Italian name, but then my brain was just like, no, it's Ringo Bingo. You're gonna say the sentence. The sentence, and of course I have to talk about Ringo Bingo, the greatest Italian director.
Well, no, so what happened was you just said the name Ringo Bingo, and then I started screaming like, Steven Spielberg, eat shit!
Emily was talking about these directors like Ringo Bingo, and it was what did you say?
So what's everyone's favorite Ringo Bingo movie then?
Oh, well, I really love Mamma Mia Pizzeria, but...
I mean, Mamma Mia Pizzeria is good, but I still think that Tin Can on a Precipice is really powerful.
Oh, Tin Can on a Precipice deflated my expectations because I was hoping they would all rhyme.
No. There's one that Emily translated Mancardero can't.
I'm trying to look and see what other names we had, because there were some good ones.
Yeah,
I mean, and obviously, you know.
Oh my god.
Here's what's really important to note is that he died as he lived, hang gliding, while screaming "Fuck you, Y2K." No one knows why he said that. It was 2008.
And that's as reported by famed film historian Buca de Beppo. Not to be confused with his brother Luigi Bingo's lover, Bubati Beppo.
Bubati Beppo, yeah.
Bubati Beppo, I'm sorry.
What you learn from this is you can always do the Italian accent, it's never racist.
I'm searching myself for whether I think these are real accounts, like a real Wikipedia entry. You guys are improving.
This all came.
We have
99% came up the dome.
Really fast. But most of this was just direct improv, and then we just wrote down what we liked from the ridiculous things we were saying. But yeah, if you go back 2 days ago, Emily, Lady Knight, and my Twitter is just all at 2 to 3 a.m. Ringo Bingo hype post.
Yeah, Ringo Bingo till I die. If you can't support me at my Ringo Bingoist, you don't deserve me at my Luigi Bingoist.
If you can't understand me at my Ringo Bingo, you don't deserve me at my Luigi
Well, and then my favorite is just the things of like, he really innovated the use of color in black and white films.
Such a good piece.
He revolutionized Antarctic
the Antarctic film
I'm just gonna
industry.
keep posting this image.
Do it.
Also, can someone show Noah our picture of Ringo Bingo?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing it right now.
Yes, so there's our picture, and then somebody actually did a fan art of Ringo Bingo.
Wait, I didn't
we also need to grab.
Already Ringo Bingo fan art?
Yeah, and somebody made a Wikipedia. Kenzie, actually, I believe it was Kenzie.
No,
I did see this tweet. I saw this image and was like, what the hell is this?
This is Ringo Bingo. Famed Italian filmmaker Ringo Bingo.
That is, but it is actually just Jason Alexander in the 1990s Cinderella with Brandy. That's who Ringo Bingo is. We have a couple of other photos prepared, but they're going to be saved for later.
Yeah.
We also have a photo of Luigi Bingo. Luigi Bingo is just Jason Alexander in Seinfeld with a mustache drawn on him.
I can't explain why this bit gives me such joy.
Oh my god, there is Ringo Bingo.
I was so worried that we would all start doing this, and everyone that came on would just be like, "There is something wrong with the chaos."
No, I had a feeling that at least some people would jive with Ringo Bingo.
Everybody has been like so here for Ringo Bingo. It makes me very happy.
Because my mic was off.
I took a Ringo Bingo course in my undergrad, let me tell you.
Also, Harker, your mic was off, so you were going to say something?
The thing is that you guys are the Chaos Twins. We were all expecting, what's the word?
Chaos?
Chaos. Control. I think that's what everyone here in chat is. Chat, are you here for the chaos? Is that why you're here? Because I am here
just
for
searched
the
Ringo Bingo
chaos.
on Twitter. It is special. I feel like we created magic. I feel magic in the studies tonight.
Can any of those Ringo Bingo heads in chat, can we get some donations to Trans Lifeline?
Yeah, please, Ringo Bingo head, sound off for Trans Lifeline. Ringo Bingo said trans rights.
Donations. We had a few.
Oh.
Someone donated with $420.69 and they did.
Holy shit!
No, that was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Ghost. Ringo Bingo's Ghost.
That's right.
Ringo Bingo's Ghost donated $500, which bumped us over.
Wait, is Ringo Bingo dead?
Well, yes, Ringo Bingo died in 2008, hang gliding, screaming "fuck Y2K"
at the age of 99.
Yeah, at the age of 99.
The Ringo's got a bingo. What a Ringo's got a bingo.
I really hope my parents are really happy with me screaming about Ringo Bingo at 11
Listen,
p.m. at
they
night.
should know you by now. They
They're
should
probably
know.
proud.
They should know their daughter.
Hey, Mom, the YouTube career ain't doing so well, but I'm making some good friends.
I'm making a fake documentary about Ringo Bingo's life and how much film buffs are obsessed with Ringo Bingo, and I just realized,
like myself,
Noah, can I have you on to say something about Ringo Bingo's composing?
Absolutely, I would be honored to talk about the composition
So who do we have
of Ringo
in this
Bingo.
now? We have me.
So we have Princess Weeks, you, Lady Knight, Noah, who else? Rasputin. Rasputin.
You have my
Rasputin is canonically. Rasputin is canonically. Ringo Bingo is his step uncle. Ringo Bingo is Rasputin's step uncle. Oh, I need to.
I would love to hit up the philosophical intricacies of Ringo Bingo's work, especially the Antarctic shots.
His red period, which was highly controversial.
Yeah.
My favorite Ringo Bingo comment has to be when he went to the Oscars and just screamed, "Ingmar Bergman ain't shit."
Alright, no, I'm gonna message you my Discord. Oh, I can't message you. Okay, you're gonna add me on Discord so I can message you.
Guys, unfortunately, I think I gotta get going here, but thank you so much for having me on. Everybody who's donating and contributing and on here to do this, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, and hope you guys can make it to your goals.
Benji, you're lovely. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, and should we ask, what are you watching recently that you've been really enjoying?
Oh yeah,
Or
what's brought you
enjoying.
joy?
Me?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be watching.
Yeah, Benji.
In any way.
I recently watched all of Ted Lasso, which is delightful. It's just relentlessly optimistic. It's on Apple TV Plus, and Apple emailed me and said, "Do you want a free year of Apple TV Plus?" And I said, "Yeah, that's the only way I'll do any Apple TV." But yeah, that was really delightful, and I've also been watching Ken Burns' documentary Country Music. Trying to fill in some of my musical blind spots.
Miss Critique rated in.
Miss Critique? Oh shit!
Ooh.
Thank you.
Miss
Hello. Hello. So really quick.
Hey.
Raising money. Hi. We're raising money for Trans Lifeline. They're a grassroots hotline and microgrants organization that is. Sorry, I'm trying to play a game and talk at the same time.
We're raising money for Trans Lifeline. It's a microgrants and peer support organization that supports trans people from, that is trans people supporting trans people in the US. They provide microgrants, phone counseling, and financial counseling, a whole bunch of different support, and it's all run by trans people. We're fundraising for them. putting money
Also
towards
Canada.
hit,
Also Canada.
Also
US
Canada, and they did say that
Both
people
covered.
outside of the US could call. Yes.
If you're outside of Canada, you can Canada and the US, you can still call. You might have to pay international charges because they're based in the US and Canada, but they can still assist you with emotional support.
Amazing. So we're raising for this beautiful cause. What do we hit to donate? It's ! Donate. Yes.
Yes.
And what are we doing at 4th hour? Oh, that's right. You're reading us some fan fiction.
Yes.
Lady.
Some heartfelt The Haunting of Hill House fanfic. Also, Neela's back.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Neela's one of our mods.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting around for slightly longer, but I'm still going to. I will be going to bed like at a no.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Where are we? Benji's left.
Benji left. And we've got Noah from Polyphonic.
I hate
Oh,
to
shit,
say this,
really?
but I said,
Yeah.
Also, I hate to say this when I asked, what were you watching recently that brought you joy? I was asking Benji before he left. And he
Oh,
left.
sorry.
Whoops.
Oh dear.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll give Benji hugs later.
I've done
Mr. Bingo Esquire. Mr. Bingo Esquire has donated $69.69, saying,
Fuck yes!
Ringo Bingo lives on eternally through his brilliant work.
Thank you, Mr. Ringo Bingo Esquire.
And Boxer Bright with the $5 says, as a gender fluid pal, I love my trans friends. Heart. Thank you to both of our donators, and also I can't speak anymore.
Aw.
Did you just run straight up a wall? Is that a thing you can do?
Yes.
Well, she just did it.
Yes. Also, I'm collecting crabs. Like, I think the running up walls is the least weird thing happening right now. I'm collecting crabs.
I did that a year ago.
By hitting them with a keyblade.
Yes. Yeah, keys are weird in this franchise.
I've noticed this. Can you give us like just a...
I just want to point out while you're on the topic of keys, I want to point out that he never uses it as a key, ever.
No, absolutely. He never unlocks the thing by sticking it in a keyhole. Sometimes he'll point it at a keyhole and a light beam will shoot out of it, but that's not
how keys work.
No.
Yeah, whenever I come home from the grocery store, I pull out my keys and stick them at my door.
I just imagine you walking up to your door, pulling the key out, and then just all light just pours out of every single pore of your body as you just start screaming it away.
I mean, listen, Sora's basically a magical girl. Like, let's be real.
I mean, he is a magical twin.
Well, it gets worse.
There's
a bunch of chests. There's a bunch of chests with...
Airnock, you were gonna explain about how he hits chests?
Yeah.
I think I might have.
No. So, lady, can we get a short preview of what the $10,000 analysis will be, and get just your hot take on the keyblade?
My hot take on. Oh.
I was saying.
Airnock, do you want to say what you were saying?
Damn my Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, Airnock struggles with their Wi-Fi. I will say keyblades never work like keys. You hit them. They also kind of work like Harry Potter wands, where they like choose their master or something. Also, in this game in particular, they include a lot of what are called heart binders. So Sora's trans. He uses a binder.
Okay.
But yeah, they never make sense.
I just want to ask, why are we worried about how the way Sora uses a key doesn't make sense when this is a series where somebody can literally have their heart removed from their body and be alive still?
Yeah, Sora turned into a little bug boy one time when he lost his heart. He turned into a little bug boy who walked in a way that I can only describe as like the way he runs, the way Heartless Sora runs is, I cannot stress enough, the most incredible thing.
So the reason it bothers me is because in our hearts we all have a little cinema sense.
That's all.
No. It's like you have to kill the in your head. You have to kill the CinemaSins in your head.
Oh, also, by the way, I just want to point out, so you bring Jack all of the crabs you collected, and he said, awesome, back in a trice. And this is from Got It Memorized, but I agree, I definitely want to imagine that Jack just glued them to the outside of the Black Pearl.
Yes.
And now he's going to, if I recall, turn into a pile of crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for this.
I'm letting this scene play out because I'm pretty sure this is when he turns into a pile of crabs. But like, keyblades, I don't know. They're just a magic weapon that people usually have, and there's a lot of importance associated with being a keyblade wielder. But then like the rules to becoming a keyblade wielder are whatever they decide in that given game. Because like sometimes there's a test, but like Kyrie just got one. He's turning into crabs. I'm sorry, I can't. Some crabs fell out of his hand.
Someone clip that. Someone clip Lady Knight screaming. He turns into crabs, please. We need that clip.
Crabs fell out of his hands.
Donald's face.
Yes.
Donald's face.
That's not even the worst thing that's happened in this game.
No. Donald's face is always horrifying. He is the boy with the bad shapes.
No, that's Goofy. Goofy's the boy with the bad shapes.
Yes. I was confused. Wait, did something bad happen to Donald?
Donald just looks really angry and is wearing a pirate bandana.
He looked so horrified at the crabs walking past him. That's...
I mean, listen,
I've
valid.
say,
Look at this! Look at this! Okay, I'm slightly ahead of you guys, but just...
Oh, it's a pile of crabs!
It's a pile of crabs! He turned into crabs! Jack was crabs! He turned into crabs! He was a person and then he was crabs!
He was crabs all along!
He was crabs! Jack was made crabs!
He was crabs! That was crabs!
Alright, on that, my headphones are dying, so I need to charge them. I will return in like 10 minutes with more charged headphones.
Sure, okay.
Sounds good.
You soon, Noah, thank you.
But a fight for pirates.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He was crabs.
I like how the energy of...
And also, I just want to point out, Sora is not upset by this. Like Jack turns into a pile of crabs and says, it's fine, I was just a copy made by a woman you've not really met, and whatever, the real Jack's out there, and Sora goes, right, okay, let's go!
I just like the idea that, like, I'm just imagining him just going, I have to go, my home planet needs me, and just turning into...
Sora's never said that in his life. Also, please enjoy Elizabeth Swan. They tried.
Oh,
they sure tried with Elizabeth Swan.
Anarchist Laboratory is rating with a party of 13.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to point out they tried with Elizabeth.
That's Ancom Psycom. That's Ancom Psycom.
Yeah, I remember.
You made a deal.
Also, hey, Panwa, crabs in my Jack? It's more likely than you think.
Don't be bashful.
Oh, they tried with these. Oh boy. Thank you for all the people.
You know, I think
we're raising money for Trans Lifeline.
You know, I think this game was really inspired by Ringo Bingo's work with crabs in his Red period. You know, like, what other filmmaker
everything to Ringo Bingo?
Escaped.
Are you sure about that?
Also, Toakoi, you're true that this is not the craziest thing Sora's ever seen, but he also just... The things he does and does not react to in this game alone is very funny to consider. Anyway, continue talking about Ringo Bingo.
Yeah, I mean, Ringo Bingo did the first scene of someone getting turned into crabs on screen, you know? It was a really impressive composition shot.
God. I really can't with how
so
much
hard to
they.
keep the joke away. It's so hard to keep the bit going.
I'm just really distracted right now with Kingdom Hearts isn't great at people, and like they try with Jack. I think they mostly succeed with Jack, but like, oh, look at Will Turner. Oh God, look at Will Turner. His face is bad. They fucked it up.
Oh God. You know, the Admiral dude doesn't look too bad.
I remember what
It's
that
not
guy
horrifying.
looks like. I remember what that guy looks like. There's a lot less there. Just in general, just less detail, less face.
Just less.
Yeah,
less
it's just
them.
smoother.
It doesn't horrify me. It doesn't horrify me.
Thanks, Ray, for the $20. You're
Thank
great.
you.
Fight, in which case
thank you.
most of you will die.
When we hit $4,000, I'm gonna read fanfic. Oh man, Elizabeth, they tried. They did you dirty.
Fight.
And also,
Oh.
Elizabeth's imitator really can't.
No. Let's talk about Barbarossa, who looks like a completely
Barbossa.
different human being. Barbossa. Barbarossa's a different piratey person.
Davy Jones looks pretty good because his human face is barely like he doesn't have a human face for them to fuck up. He was already a CG creation. Also,
wasn't a
did you
far
see
movement.
that that they told me I could collect more white crabs to level up my ship? Yep. I just
That was
want
a
you to know
sentence
that.
you just said.
That's a real. Well, the game said it first.
You said words. They were words.
They were words. I've had a lot of fun in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, just swimming around and finding all the individual. What?
That's
Red Sword. Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for
If
donating.
Red Sword wants, he can hop in and for a minute.
Only if he's not too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be clear,
Also,
that is zero obligation.
you
It is
donate-
purely off of if you would
But
like.
thank you for the donation. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Red Sword, for the $50 donation, which just says fun.
Aw, that's so cute.
I love
Why is
this.
everyone who donates so freaking cute?
I don't know.
I love this fucking stream. It's great.
Unlike Goofy, who's made of bad shapes.
Bad shape boy.
Wait, hold on. Actually, let me get the.
You know, Goofy
if
may
you
be a
don't-
bad shaped boy. Goofy may be made of bad shapes, but he is still a clean boy, sweet man. You know, unlike what was it, Zaxel? The ding dong in the ship. What was his name?
Luxord.
Luxor.
Yeah,
Garbage
fuck
boy, stink
Luxord.
man. Garbage boy, stink man.
Yeah,
Was I
Luxord
not
sucks
hosting?
sword. Goofy.
Oh, I'm hosting now. Alright, that's good. I guess when the stream went down, I was not hosting anymore.
I should check that as well.
What's
Mine would have
happening?
auto-hosted to somebody else.
Hi, Noah.
Hey!
Hi.
Hey.
Hey!
Long time no talk.
I am
headphones
running
charge so
around because I don't
quickly.
know what to do.
They actually do charge. I was shocked. I checked and they were like 70%, and I was like, okay, I can work with that.
Wait, what's
I have,
70%?
I have wireless too, and that's why I've had to drop out of the call. like twice.
Yeah.
I bet we'll find some ingredients.
I got them for
around
Christmas, and they're very nice.
Nice one. I'm just mystified by watching
My wife-
Sora literally fly across the ocean. Like,
Yep.
what?
Yep.
Is this? I wanted to shout out to chat. So, as you all know, we're raising money for Trans Lifeline, and we've said that Goofy is made of bad shapes, but that everyone who donates is not made of bad shapes. If you want to be made of not bad shapes, if you want to be as cute as everybody else who has donated, here is your chance. Hit exclamation point donate.
For every donation, I will literally breathe oxygen.
Be a sweet boy, clean man. Don't be a garbage boy, stink man. And donate.
Exactly this. So if you can, we would love your donations. They all go towards Trans Lifeline. a fantastic charity that exists by trans people, for trans people, to support them with mental health, financial health, and so on. They operate in the US and Canada.
And to 2023, I am familiar with the Marriage Story video where Goofy and Mickey are the married couple.
Trans Lifeline also gives a lot of support for our intersex siblings as well. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Don't be a Luigi Bingo. Luigi Bingo would donate too. Everyone.
No. You all need to understand that Luigi Bingo is a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a clean man. Okay.
Ringo Bingo is the one who was kind of a shitbird at times.
Yeah, who like burned Luigi
Ringo
Bingo's film.
He burned Luigi Bingo's films. I mean, Luigi Bingo was bravely gay in the 50s and 60s and 40s. And
sometimes this story gets dark.
I really like the expansion of the Ringo verse.
Oh no, this is all part of our original discussion that we were having on that evening.
I'm so excited for this mockumentary I'm gonna do. That the point of the video is to make fun of like gatekeeping in art and art snobbery, and the way that people will be like, "You don't know about this? You're not a real critic. You don't have real art. You don't listen to Ringo Bingo's soundtracks."
Wait, Ringo Bingo burned his gay brother's art? He's cancelled.
Yeah, no. Ringo Bingo is very problematic. There's reasons that his red period is considered so controversial.
Bingo is over party.
Is it true that his red period came and he found out what a period was?
I've been theorizing that the red period is about, and you would have to say it like this, female menstruation, because again, men, men in old things. Female menstruation.
Honestly, like Rothko's depression period, that it's a nebulous concept.
We've already established that. So Ringo Bingo is Ace, Luigi Bingo is Pan. I've decided that now, and because why not? And Buca de Beppo, the greatest film historian.
Film historian, yes.
Yes, is trans. So.
I do have to say, if Ringo Bingo is very problematic, it really doesn't surprise me that, like, film snobs love him.
I know, right?
Exactly. That's part of the joke.
Speaking as a film snob, if I had to take away every problematic director in my collection, I would be throwing away, like, half of the stuff I enjoy.
He wouldn't be an auteur without a healthy bit of guilt.
Speaking as a music snob, if I had to remove every problematic musician, I wouldn't have a career.
I would say LK sums it up perfectly. I can't remember which one of your videos you say this, where
probably the Doctor Who one.
I think it is, which is the statement. Find me a piece of media. So I haven't actually. I haven't actually had this yet. That was something I was saying to you, because I recently learned that Steven Mnuchin produced a lot of movies that people like. I'm pretty sure he's on Into the Spider-Verse. I know he produced the Lego Movie and Mad Max Fury Road. And that was going to be my, like...
I'm just, like, horrified!
That people love, and he also made Batman vs. Superman, which I would not count as a movie that people love.
No, but it's just the finally unproblematic media.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can't... So, what
are we, some kind of alt-right film producer?
What am I? Some kind of Last Jedi?
Oh god, we've activated Kylo!
I don't know how I did that.
With my scars, you could say that I'm some kind of dark knight.
Oh no!
Do we live in a society?
No, we do not.
These scars. My dad was a
game.
He didn't like my body color, and I just lost my mind with my katana.
Oh god!
Reddit pilled Joker is the most cursed character I ever made. I regret creating this horrible contribution to the world, but it's not the worst voice that I can do. Oh no.
It's not about the Keanu Reeves. It's about the wholesome 100.
What?
The worst character / person's voice I can do is famed big boy, master of lobsters and king of orangutans, Jordan B. Peterson, who he has to enforce the hierarchy, because otherwise, the chaos dragon in the collective unconscious, of course, femininity will take over.
Jordan, I've heard you're developing some new rules for life. Can you tell us some of those new rules?
Rule number 1: collect crabs. It's very important.
What do the crabs represent?
The crabs represent your need for a parental figure, but also your rejection of traditional masculinity to embrace the Sigma male identity.
You sound so much like him, and I hate everything about it.
Oh yeah, no, it is a cursed power.
It is a dangerous ability you possess.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I joke that there's an ongoing joke that I've an eldritch being from the far realms with mystical powers. Anyway, I joke that I just steal people's voices. I copy the voices of people I respect. I steal the voices of those I don't. I have stolen his voice.
So
I will mock him with it ruthlessly.
Look, I'm deeply torn between seeing if chat, if I should encourage chat to donate to get less Peterson
or more.
What do you reckon,
Chat, if you would like to hear Jordan Peterson say something, whatever ridiculous thing that you can then make fun of Jordan Peterson with, donate, say what the thing is, and I'll do it in Jordan Peterson's voice, or either Mark Hamill or Heath Ledger's Joker, or Kylo Ren, or there's a billion other voices.
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith, I can do Agent Smith.
This comment of, I feel if you combine the Jordan Peterson and Reddit Joker impressions, you get Ben Shapiro.
Let's say, hypothetically,
let's just say,
oh my god.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, that hypothetically, the water races for 10 feet in the next 10 years. Maybe.
Wait, there's a Ringo Bingo cosplay?
Everyone?
Hang on. Ah! Jake!
What?
Excuse me?
So Jacob Red is a friend of mine.
It's in chat.
Oh my god!
I'm not. I don't have chat.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god!
Did you do this tonight? Did you do this tonight? That's what I want to know. Or is that something else and you just... Oh my god, you did that tonight? That's incredible. That's incredible.
Fucking amazing.
You are incredible.
I love this.
Thank you.
That's breathtaking.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's say hypothetically that the water race is like 10 feet in the next 10 years. 15 feet maybe. Wouldn't people just sell their houses and move?
Who? Ben?
What?
Fucking Aquaman?
Fucking Aquaman?
Maybe the internet people?
Do you want to know the most cursed thing?
We are all losers.
Yep.
The most cursed thing I've ever written to make fun of a certain Ben Shapiro. So has anyone ever seen the edit of Ben Shapiro where he's just been scaled down super small and is standing on top of a human hand, and the title is "This is what a 6-week-old fetus looks like"?
No, that's amazing.
So imagine Ben Shapiro literally just shrunk down to the size of a finger, standing on top of the palm of a hand. And now this sentence. Let's just say this is a 6-week-old fetus, hypothetically. What then? You wouldn't kill a tiny human. Let's say you did. You should be arrested. What do you mean bodily autonomy of people with uteruses still matters? This is exactly the lunacy of the left. They would kill inaccurate, hypothetical, tiny fetus Shapiro. So much for
I'm not gonna say, let's be real, we would all kill Shapiro, but like...
in my craft.
Sorry, I appear to have cut out there.
Listen, I would not
Twitch
kill
POS
Ben
don't
Shapiro.
get us.
It ends here.
It's a character flaw that I find that I have a lot of affection for short men, no matter how horrible and goblin-y they are. And he's just such a little guy. No! Listen, I'm not condoning anything he said or done. He's a horrible little goblin, and he needs to stop. But at the same time, I kind of just want to pick him up and put him in my pocket where he can radicalize the lint and leave the world alone.
The radicalize the left linen of your pocket.
This is exactly the lunacy of the left. They would grab me and put me in their pocket and walk me around the world. This is unacceptable.
He'd be like a horrible little demon in my pocket, just yelling awful shit all the time, and I just have to like swat him every now and then.
So just that we're clear, like it's women who can bench press you, all non-binary people, and tiny men, because I'm down with this. This is my like categories as well.
This is a lot. This is a lot conceptually. That's all I'm saying
right now.
Huh?
I lean more in the ballpark of striving to be the woman who can do the bench pressing. Right now I'm only at 200.
Yeah, women who can bench press are me. That's my. I don't know about Neela, but women who can bench press me is definitely a thing that I enjoy. Yeah, that's a thing I enjoy. Quite. It's been well documented.
I think I recall something along these lines coming up in one of your essays, lady.
Abby?
I love a bicep woman! I love her so much! She has big, strong biceps, and I love her!
That's kind of
People who don't appreciate the strength of her biceps are weak.
Here's what's always funny to me about the entire bullshit Last of Us discourse is I used to be a rower.
It ends here.
Abby's nowhere near as fit as most of my teammates who were rowing. People need to shut the fuck up. She's not even that buff. Like, I'm sorry. She's not like she's clearly someone who has worked out a lot. That's it. I think these people need to go like outside and meet human beings.
Meet women?
And women, specifically women who've been in sport. I don't know. Let's say
never have interactions with people.
Especially buff women. You leave them alone.
Sorry, I should be clear. They should go outside. They should not annoy anyone. they should
just
go
be out and observing passively and unintrusively.
They should shut the fuck up.
Exist.
and just sit there and observe that other human beings exist outside of their very limited view of humanity. Because I'm tired of it.
The two partners I have who are women are just like the most buff humans I have ever met, and it is so delightful.
Aww.
Buff women are good, and I love them and appreciate them, and they're strong biceps. I would like them to step on me.
Just true and reasonable.
Could you call yourself bisexual?
Oh god. Oh god. I don't like that.
The funniest thing for something like this was Lady Knight's reaction to the Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, that big lady.
The big mommy dom.
You posted something in Chaos Chat. I can't remember what it was. It was just like, look at her. I want her to step.
I don't remember if it was. No, I think that wasn't me because I remember being confused
No, it was
by
someone else.
That was someone else.
No, who
might
was
have been
it?
Alice.
Who am I thinking of? It might have been Alice. I can't remember. It was fucking funny. It wasn't Alice. It was
Kez?
Yeah. I can't remember. It wasn't Alex. Anyway,
wasn't me.
I just remember it was really funny. Anyway, someone posted that. It was very funny to me.
Yeah, I gotta say, as a tall woman, the last couple of years have been great. It used to be not cool to be a tall woman. People would make fun of you for it, but now everybody wants a tall woman, so...
I mean, listen. Spike Spiegel had a line in the Cowboy Bebop movie about, I love a woman who can kick my ass. And I've really resonated with that because a lot of my bisexual awakening has been just like, oh man, Lara Croft, like the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider. Huh. Boys are neat. I like boys. Boys are neat, right? I just am really interested in Lara Croft Tomb Raider, played by Angelina Jolie. Boys are totally neat, but like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Yeah, I have a running joke with a friend of mine who's also bi about just like looking back on our youth and just like boys. I think boys are neat. Oh god.
I definitely, upon reaching adulthood and realizing bisexuality, realized, oh, those feelings I had for Rufio from Hook? That's
it was really interesting for me to be attracted to both of the leads I'm gonna lose all my film cred by saying this, in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Hell yes.
Andrew Garfield
they're hot.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are gorgeous.
Also, you are allowed to
movies.
You know what makes figuring out attraction real fucking confusing? Being ace, panromantic, and non-binary. The combo of what the fuck are any of my feelings and what's wrong is not like any other human being I know.
I came out as a trans woman before I came out as bi, and like when I eventually came out as bi, you were like, "That's so brave of you," and I'm just like, "Fucking, I already changed gender. I think I'm good."
Oh my god! So one of my teammates from my 370 project, software engineering, is she's trans, and so she just. It was her birthday today, so I messaged her like me, like congratulations. She's like, "Congratulations on the fucking gender, nice." She's on the video. I fucking love her. She's fucking awesome.
That's so good.
There are a lot of. It's so funny because queer people just like gravitate to each other. Like you just know. It's like you are safe. I can work with you.
Genuinely, I'm not sure if I have any like YouTube friends who are not like in some way either queer or lesbian anymore.
I mean, listen.
That's the way to be, though.
That's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
All my music is mostly just destroy gender, destroy communism constantly.
Well, to destroy gender roles. I like my gender.
I sat down the other day. I sat down the other day and went through like the folk I know, and out of all of my friends, there are like 5 who are not somewhere queer, and it's like, good, I have chosen well. Life is better because of this.
Good.
Yes.
I'm just more selective with which sachets I associate with.
Listen, some sachets are valid, some are
my
not.
My friend Alex is very cool.
He's all right. He's okay for a sachet.
I have a lot of
for example,
friends that don't know they're queer yet, so.
my friend Patrick, very chill, good dude. I like him. But it's also funny because it's just like
people just objectively better
being friends with a bunch of queer people because the people who are actually social in the concert department are mostly queer. So there's like the 5 sachets that are actually.
Speaking of queer people,
it's secretly Ringo Bingo.
Yeah.
Speaking of queer people, you know what can help a lot of queer people? Donating to Trans
Lifeline! Yeah!
Yes. Yay!
You know what else would help queer people? Is if I could stop dying on this fucking pirate ship!
The fact that this ship keeps killing you is homophobic, honestly.
Kingdom Hearts is homophobic and also extremely gay. How did they pull that off?
That's a good joke. I appreciate that. Right. Pretty okay for Sachet by The Offspring.
So, when I lived in Melbourne, I lived just up the road from what's called Chapel Street. Chapel Street is not dissimilar to Canal Street in Manchester, or I don't know how your gayness happens in the US. It's the gay bit of Melbourne, and it's dotted up and down with endless queer nightclubs. One of them. Oh yeah, that's right. New York exists.
Well, that's the term. It's also used in Montreal as well.
Toronto, there we go.
Most
Toronto
major
also
cities have a
has-
gay village. Vancouver and Ottawa both have gay villages as well.
Toronto has a pretty big one, actually. You know what's fucking dope? I'm gonna talk about, so last night I released my coming out video, and
Congratulations.
so my I've been out as pan for a long time, but I came out as non-binary to all the beat space, even though I've been online for a really long time, and I've been out to my parents for a while and my siblings for a good while as well. But I had a phone call with my former coach mentor / just one of my favorite human beings on the entire planet. Anyway, he's the best. But to explain him, he's a cishet white dude from small town Saskatchewan, and he's a big guy. This is the last. Like, if you saw him, if you met him, and you didn't know anything about him, you would just not assume that he is like the most accepting, understanding, caring human being I have ever met. Like, this man's life lessons he has taught me help me every fucking day. And I fucking love him. But his sister is trans, and she actually helped organize the first trans march in Toronto.
Oh, cool.
So, and I fucking love him, and he's just a wonderful human being, and like getting to front of us. But when he sent a message last night, I just like started bawling. Like, I was just in my living room fucking bawling. Because it was just like the exact right words, you know? Like, anyway, I just fucking love him. But
so good.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah.
He's just such a good. Like,
oh, by the way,
I do not deserve this.
By the way, unrelated to the wholesome as shitness, Polyphonic, my sister is in the chat under the handle Sister Ghost, and she's a big fan of your videos.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you, Sister Ghost. I like fans of. Well, no, that's a lie. I don't like a lot of fans of my videos, but I like the good ones. If you are listening to this, you're one of the good ones.
You know what makes you an even better one?
Were just like, my friends will just message me who are not involved in YouTube, and they'll just message me and just be like, I hate YouTubers. They all suck and they have bad opinions. And I'll be like, excuse me? And they'll be like, oh, you're one of the good ones.
Here we go!
Oh my god. So, with the like homophobic and very gay thing, which is still hanging around in chat, this nightclub, which was called, I don't know if this is considered. It was called Puff Duff, which is
Wow. Yeah. I feel like most people in this chat don't realize that's a thing in the UK.
That's a pretty heavy slur to be calling someone round my parts. But
yeah, in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, but it also pops up in Canada sometimes because what people don't realize is that we're actually probably closer to Britain than the US a lot of the times.
Yeah. We're the bastard love child of America and Britain.
So, I know multiple people who've come to go to university here from New Zealand and Australia, and I've heard a lot of New Zealanders say that Canada is just cold New Zealand.
Yep, I believe it.
And that the relationship between Canada and the U.S. is somewhat similar to the relationship between Australia and New Zealand for some reason.
Also correct.
So that's a whole interesting dynamic thing because I definitely think it has to do with the ways that the colonies have interacted with Britain since, and the relationship in the legal systems. But
almost
anyway.
The thing that's not the homophobic, very gay thing though. Despite being a very, very active and very brutal slur. Hey, you did it?
Sorry, I won! I beat a thing! Yay!
Yeah.
That part was really hard. Anyway, continue. Talking about homophobia.
They released in 2019, so before there were no nightclubs anymore, a set of guidelines that they gave out to photographers.
Guidelines rather than actual rules. Anyway, continue.
They were termed guidelines, but if you didn't follow the guidelines, you didn't get hired as a photographer anymore. And the guidelines included, don't take photos of anyone who is non-conforming in terms of their gender, or even looks a bit effeminate. We're not about that. Don't take photos of Asian patrons. Don't take photos of fat or skinny patrons. We only want photos of beefcakes out there. Essentially, if they don't make you drool, don't take the snap. No disabled patrons, no trans patrons, and it's like, you are very gay, and also you are very homophobic.
I'm gonna say something. There is a problem in cis gay culture of an obsession with the body and of a very specific type of attractiveness.
Yep.
And it is very transphobic a lot of the time, usually pretty ableist, and
very racist. Very racist.
Really
There's also
racist.
There's also a disturbing amount of misogyny in a lot of cis gay communities.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the men's ones is the
men's
The amount of cis gays that I see go like turned on trans people so easily, and I'm just like, we were there with you. Like, what are you talking about?
No, we were the ones that fucking organized shit. Like, categorically, trans people have taken more roles in organization.
Rivera, Marsha P. Johnson, like all those. Oh my god.
But I'm talking for decades. Like, if you look through the entirety of queer history, because those two did do good work. Ashland Zimmerman's super influential.
I just was using them as an example.
Stonewall. They're the example, but there have been trans organizers, trans heads of a lot of gay houses and things. Like, they're
so much
of queer culture is so heavily influenced and led by trans people, but particularly trans people of color. And every time some little white cis pulls that transphobic bullshit, it's a disrespect to queer culture. And that's why I think there is a difference between, like, queer spaces and, like, that sort of cis-gay space, There's a different focus in the culture. And to be clear, really I know a shit ton of cis-gays who do not like that other culture, that are very much in queer culture, but it's just frustrating.
Folk who are in chat, especially this one goes out for cis-gay folk in chat. If you want to show just how much support you have for the trans community, you should hit exclamation donate and donate to Trans Lifeline.
That was a killer thing. That was amazing.
Fucking phenomenal. Excellent done. And I'm
You're an absolute legend.
And I'm not like saying this stuff arbitrarily. Like
shameless.
So last summer when a like literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tourists fucking harassed me, a good half of them were cis gay men from Britain.
Yeah.
Oof.
And because I looked at some of those accounts, I am 100% certain. But here's the important thing: they were cis gay men, and they were always white, always. At least the ones that had photos and things, and usually white.
I think
built cis. I was like, cool. Love. So this is the really really ridiculous bit. They had decided that I was a trans man. Not sure how they got to that conclusion. But they decided that I was a trans man and that I was trying to force myself upon the poor cis gay men, and that I was a rapist and somehow a pedophile.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Jesus Christ.
I got added to fucking lists. I got added to fucking lists. Posey Parker showed up in this fucking
Okay,
thread.
this you told me, and also can I just really quick sidetrack because I made this mistake. There's Posey Parker, and then there's actress Parker Posey. These are not the same people I thought they were.
Parker Posey, super cool. Posey Parker, literally a part of UK's Nazi groups.
Oh God.
I am using the term literally correctly here.
Their names are criminally similar.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We've also
and
had
not in a fun way.
We've
Not
had
in
two
a like
donations.
Phoebe Bridgers and Phoebe Bridges Waller kind of way.
We've had some donations come in. One from Jenga Bread. Ringo Bingo is made of problematic shapes. $25. Tumblr Dryer Mania. $20.
It makes me way too happy that people are getting in on the jokes.
For donating because you were on the stream.
By the way, what?
Maya's awesome.
What did you say the name of the Ringo Bingo Oopsie Doopsie Spaghetti? What was the movie?
Mamma Mia Pizzeria?
Pizza Pie. No, it's
Mamma
Pie.
Mia Pizza Pie. Okay.
It was Pizzeria originally.
Although
Yeah,
Oopsie Doopsie Spaghetti, whatever the hell you just said, is also very good.
Okay.
Yes,
Before we get too
Say
far
it
away from
again.
I called it Oopsie Doopsie Spaghetti.
I think Neil has something to say.
Oh, but before we get too far away from shitting on cis white gay men, never before in my life have I interacted with a group of people who largely use the justification, I don't want to have sex with you, so I can touch you, as an argument. Like, have you ever been touched by a gay man in like an intimate way and been like, excuse me, and he's like, it's fine, I'm gay, as if that excuses.
I have actually experienced that.
That's a very common phenomenon. It's fine, I'm gay, which is just so deeply misogynist. Like, I don't want to have sex with you, so
so I can violate your autonomy.
Oh, well, and here's the thing too. They'll do that to you. They'll do that if you're male presenting, because I've had that experience.
Well, that doesn't follow their logic though. Them being gay means that it should be less fine.
No. They just do that shit sometimes. Some of them do that shit. I do not like clubs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. Have a good night. Just in the chat. Anyway, continue.
Well, I think we're kind of touching on an important aspect, though, is just that, like, just because you belong to a community doesn't mean you've actually necessarily dismantled any of the problematic things you've learned. Let's take, I don't know, Blair fucking White.
Well, I think there's also a very kind of worrying trend that's always happened where a lot of people who are a member of an oppressed group, rather than uniting with other oppressed groups, pick on a group that is more oppressed and use that as a way to exercise power within a structure of a society that doesn't appreciate them, you know? Like,
yeah. No, and that's why I think you, like as we're talking with this case, it's like they got their modicum of acceptance, right? And then they turned on the rest of their community, and this is just like
that sounds like
solidarity.
My mom, Jewish Trumper.
Ooh, that's yeah. No, but I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff like this that happens. I mean, there's unfortunately a lot of racism in queer spaces. It's a big fucking problem.
Tinder, I hear, is a shithole.
Oh my god,
Yeah, you're right,
when
Exalt.
I have had
Exalt, very much. Fuck you, got mine. Like, it's really upsetting.
The one thing that I will say about this though is it's worth keeping in mind that obviously you don't want to condone, and it's good to condemn these behaviors, but at the end of the day, these behaviors come as a result of the broader systems and as a result of the people in power dividing and conquering.
I want to be very clear. I'm not mad at them as individuals. I want to discuss how manipulation occurs. Right? Cis gay men aren't doing this shit arbitrarily as in groupings of them, right?
Yeah.
Because one individual doing something that's an outlier, right? A couple of individuals doing something, there might be a slight systemic influence, but large numbers of a group doing something is very clearly having more to do with social pressures and systemic situations and material reality. The material reality is very much that fuck you, I've got mine. And I think the perfect embodiment is someone like Pete Buttigieg, right?
Cool.
Pete Buttigieg is the ultimate, Milo Yiannopoulos, the ultimate fucking rich, white, cis gay guy. And it's like, well, I'm not having to deal with this oppression and stuff, so fuck you, I got mine, I'm done. You know? Like, bye. I'm not gonna help anymore. And in order to cement their position, because it's not even necessarily about hate for a lot of them. I think there's a big aspect of it that is just if they go along with the oppressed in the other group, they're hoping that will ingratiate them with the power group. But that won't actually do anything in the long run.
Yeah. So under a framework of what Luke calls the 3 forms of power, there are kind of 3 stages of power. The first is like the power to oppress somebody else, which is amazing to have. It sucks when you are not having that. There's the power to set the agenda, which allows what can and cannot be discussed. That's the kind of power that Murdoch wields really well in, especially the US, Australia, and the UK. Hey, the third kind of power is the one that gets inside your head. It's kind of colonizing of the mind. And it's that happens to minoritized groups, like gay folk, like trans folk, like women, like people of color, like the mentally ill, like the physically disabled. All minoritized groups are likely to end up being essentially ingratiated into the idea that they have something to lose by allying with their comrades, who should be their comrades, the other minoritized groups, and allying among each other. Some of the biggest...
isn't the accurate term, really. It's more marginalization.
Marginalization.
And I say that because a lot of like society still marginalizes women in general, and that is not a minority of the society, right? That is about half. Give or take
so it's a minority under a political power lens. But the the proofs they have a minority of the political power is the way it's kind of.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah. That's why I use marginalization, because I think sometimes people take minority as you are a smaller number of the population, but it's not really what we're talking about, right?
No, we're talking about who has the power.
Yeah, and you are marginalizing other people's power, right? Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all the fucking rich pieces of shit in the top 1%, right? They're a vast minority of the population, but they have marginalized the power of the rest of the population drastically, right? Mm-hmm. They've lowered our ability to influence this.
I think this is why. Go ahead.
JT Robinson Live. So the internalized misogyny, racism, ableism, etc. is the colonizing of the mind. Yeah, so some of the biggest advocates against women's suffrage were women. Some of the most vocal advocates, and it's like very clear that their interests weren't being represented.
Look at the statistics for those who voted for Trump. Look at the statistics for those who voted for Trump. Yeah. A massive number of white women, specifically, voted for Trump. Like a majority of white women voted for Trump. Like when he won. Like that's ridiculous, right? I mean, this is a man walking around saying shit like "grab him by the pussy" and garbage like that is absolutely disgusting, right? But
accused of so much misconduct.
I grew up with that very, very close because my mom is incredibly conservative, but she's also, a Jewish woman, and I don't like, for the longest time on the internet, I never wanted to talk about being Jewish because I was afraid that people would hear me bitch about my mother, which was, I would rather do than talk about being Jewish, to be honest, and they'd be like, oh, look at how bigoted Jews can be. But she's an outlier.
Oh, so this is, oh no, you got eaten by the thing.
I did. Well, actually, so I'm trying to save the Black Pearl, which is getting eaten by the Kraken. Anyway, continue. It's fine. Third time's the charm, maybe.
The idea of minority pressure or the persecuted being put under additional pressure to perform well, to not argue about their parents because of the stereotype.
I apologize, I got disconnected for a second.
Oh,
you're all good.
The only person I've ever known.
Okay, I'm back. What I was saying is that
can you hold on actually just a second? Noah was in the middle of a sentence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sure you couldn't hear. That's why I just thought I'd let you know.
No worries. All that I was gonna say is just that all of this stuff it really hammers home why solidarity is one of the most important things that we as leftists have, and something very important to keep in mind, because there are a lot of structures working against solidarity and trying to prevent us from creating solidarity with each other, and the only way that you can actively make change is by reaching out and having solidarity with your fellow groups who are oppressed by the same systems.
Not just that, solidarity also means genuine listening and taking the time to try to do everything you can to understand the other marginalized group. That means
absolutely
not speaking over, but speaking with and listening to, and prioritizing that listening to first.
And very importantly, not just imagining yourself in their position or relating it to something that you've gone through. Like J.K. Rowling doing that with trans men. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. No, because
generally, if J.K. Rowling does something, don't do that. That's a good
It's a good rule of thumb.
A really good way to show your solidarity, chat, is by donating to Trans Lifeline.
By the way, chat, I have actually uncovered an old Ringo Bingo film poster that if we get $4,000, I might be able to share with you. So,
oh my God,
I want to know what this is!
Polyphonic, you wonderful. You have to. I have to see this. You have to donate. I am demanding that you donate so I can see this. Oh my God.
I want to see this.
Noah, you getting in on the bit this much makes me very happy.
Oh my God, I am so delighted right now.
I was just because you brought up disability in the list of like self-hatred things, and I've dealt with a lot of self-hatred for being queer, but I dealt with a lot more from disability in the way that society stigmatizes needing disability aid, accessibility, and medication. The way, because I went to Catholic school, and the way that I was taught to see myself as morally incorrect or problematic for why I was sick was really bad. And I've had to be on continuous medication since I was, where the fuck did I start? When I was 9, and that was after a 2.5-year process where I missed on average 1/3 to 2/3 of my school years.
Yeah.
Because of how often I was sick. I have really nasty chronic illness. I also happen to just be lucky and good at school because I'm autistic and wired in that way that you get savant syndrome bullshit, right? So I solved math good. So I was able to keep up with school, but I was not able to keep up with a lot of the social aspects because, again, autistic. So whenever I was at school, I was ruthlessly bullied for being the sick kid. Kids would do shit like, oh, don't go near him, he's the sick kid.
Ostracization
and that
is
fucking... Yeah, so it was fucking horrid. And
yeah.
And I hated myself with my messed up body.
Depression?
Oh my God. The timing
yes.
of that. But yeah, so I have experienced self-hatred from a variety of sources due to social pressures and things, and if it was that hard for me to dismantle those biases when all it was doing was hurting myself, right? I wasn't putting that out on other people. I know that it's going to be a process to get people who are not experiencing those things and don't have a direct investment in changing things to get invested. Yeah. But here's the important aspect, though. I know it's fucking doable if you put in some fucking work. And so I don't. This is what annoys me with a lot of people who claim to be allies.
Beat your biases like I'm beating Davy Jones.
I don't expect you to be perfect. You are going to make mistakes. That is part of learning. I worked as a coach since I was 13 professionally. I know what the fuck I'm talking about with learning to at least a decent degree. You're going to make mistakes. What matters is how you respond to mistakes and how you respond to when people point out those mistakes, right?
Yep.
And if you attach your ego to every interaction relating to mistakes like that, you are going to have a terrible time and you're not actually going to change. And this is why I get really frustrated when people get really pissy anytime marginalized people are like, hey, what that creator said was, a little bit problematic or something, right? So, because there's two sides of it. The side that takes that is not part of the marginalized group and jumps on like, the creator is evil, and the other side that takes it as like, we must defend the person I have connected my ego to completely.
All right, and Parker, what were you gonna say just now?
Yeah, so especially for AMAB folk, and for people who have been
AMAB, remind me what that stands for again?
Assigned male at birth.
Okay, thank you.
I'm actually just trying to like step around to protect my own ego there, because what I'm saying is, for folk who were raised like me, I'm non-binary, but I grew up under a very heavily male socialization. The ability to kind of withdraw and yield that ego is something that I have found takes a lot of work, and it's not the kind of thing that you kind of that you go, yeah, I've done that work, and now I can step back and dust my hands off. It'll keep catching you out. It's time and time again. And the moment that you think you're done unpicking this stuff, is when it will hit you again. Like, inevitably.
You are never done improving. The instant you say you are done is when you have completely failed at the process. Self-improvement and learning is a process. I'm sorry about the noise. I'm cooking, so I might mute for a second.
No worries.
I think something that really bears mentioning here, though, is that doing the work is rewarding. Putting the work in and like understanding people's experiences, it's not just rewarding in the like, oh, you're doing the right thing kind of way. It is actively rewarding to understand people's lives, understand people's experience, and it gives you a broader worldview. And I am a better, more rounded person for putting the work in, and I don't think you should be putting it in specifically for that outcome. But it's also good to know that like it makes you a better person. It makes you.
I mean, it means that you're going to be better to the people in your life, because if you you will meet a variety of people in the world, and if you do the work to better understand people, then you know that the people you care about are going to be like treated kindly by you, which is the thing that most people should care about.
You end up with better relationships.
I mean, I'm gonna jump in for a second. You find a lot out about yourself as well.
Yeah, so you discover a lot about yourself when you interact with people outside of your own experiences. But I think this is really important. I don't give a shit what someone's reasoning for trying to improve themselves is. What I care about is the material outcomes. Right? So, frankly, if what you need to do in order to be a better person and treat other people with respect is be a selfish asshat, in so doing, ending up doing the selfless thing, I just care about the result, right? Because there's a lot of people that will convince themselves that what they're doing is selfless and about protecting other people and whatever, just like at Turks. A lot of rhetoric of that in there, right? Their belief that they know better. You know what? If the only reason that you're trying to improve your worldview and treat other people with more respect and everything is because it makes you feel good, I don't give a shit. Like, genuinely. Because it doesn't matter to any of the people, because no one is in your head. They don't know what you're thinking, right?
And
all they can know is your actions. And if your actions are kind and caring and positively improve the people around you, why does the motivation matter? You know?
Yeah, that's a very Catholic, I've found in my experience, that's a very Catholic way of thinking about it, or Christian, because it, like, you can't, by that logic, you can't do anything right. Like, if I want to do something that makes the world better, even though it won't directly benefit me, just because it makes me feel good to do it, then you're now feeling guilty for doing a good thing.
Exactly. Catholics...
like the seven,
the
like
Catholic
what are
individualization is so harmful.
And I think
sorry, Neil.
Right.
One second.
I think focusing on it. Oh, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to make a quick point. Fun fact, I am technically confirmed by the Catholic Church, which is very funny because I am an atheist, bisexual, trans woman, and I think that it is very funny that technically they have confirmed a gigantic heresy.
That is hilarious. But one thing that's important to bear in mind in terms of like our culture and how influenced it is by Christianity is that of the 7 deadly sins, 5 of them are just thoughts.
I don't know. Maybe
so like when people feel guilty about their thoughts, that's not magically out of nowhere. It is because of the culture we live in.
Also, of the 7 deadly sins, like 5 of them are also just really fun.
myself easy to remember.
I wanna add something into that about thought crime and stuff. The thought crime stuff is actually extremely ableist in construction because for people who deal with intrusive thoughts, like I do, it will destroy you emotionally because you are constantly convinced that you're an evil person because of thoughts that you literally have no control over.
I guess so.
And to me, I'm like, this is what we should focus on as our material impact on the world around us and the relationships that we have, right? And
part of me again, I figured
I don't think we should, like, obviously, you know, ideally everybody is motivated by good things, obviously. But like, I'd say that being motivated by good things should be more about like being motivated to do the good thing rather than being motivated to think in the good way, you know?
Right, yeah. Your material, like, especially when it comes to celebrities, I don't care what's in their heart, I care what they say and do.
Exactly.
What's in your heart is between you and whatever deity you worship. And your therapist.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
I can never know what is in someone else's head.
I think writing off someone's intentionality is a tool that's used to deflect from the actual material good that they might be doing. Like it's very often used to kind of stop people from doing this because it's like, oh well, you're just doing this for yourself. But exactly what you're saying. What does that matter?
Bad or good, intentions are hard to read, actions are not.
Not to.
Here's the other thing. And this is really important.
The kid's name.
People will take, but they had good intentions as an excuse for bad actions. And this is also important that we're not talking about morally judging someone. We're saying whether or not the action is a correct thing to take. Right? So we're not saying, you're an evil person because you've done a bad action. Right?
You don't have to worry alone anymore.
What we're focused on is, hey, you've done a bad action. Let's make it so we don't do that again. Let's improve. Let's change so we don't do that again. We don't repeat the bad action.
Restorative as opposed to punitive approaches.
Bingo!
Yeah.
So important.
JT Robinson Live has been asking a bunch of, like, really interesting questions in chat, and it'll take me forever to type out responses. So if it's okay, I'll just quickly, like, reply.
Rapid fire a couple of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Actually...
Oh, wait. What's up?
I was gonna say, I was really interested in the conversation we were just having a bit ago, but also for like the past 40 minutes while we were talking about it, I've been completely exhausted and I didn't want to interrupt.
Hey, real quick, also, Yhara Zayd is sitting and waiting for someone to check her mic and bring her into chat as well,
Emily, take care of yourself first, okay?
Yes. You can also hang on for a few minutes to just say hi when she comes in. But
make sure you get some sleep.
I don't want to get too deep into this conversation because I want to give Yhara Zayd some time to talk about her channel and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also wanted to be able to do a goodbye before I go. So,
yeah.
Not to be vain or anything, but I do.
So, I mean, we're going to keep talking about intentionality and stuff. No, you're not. No, you're good. We love you. We're going to keep talking about intentionality and, like, good allyship and shit like that. This stuff is going to keep coming up. JT Robinson, if we don't get to it all now, I'm sorry. Things are happening.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and we have such amazing guests, and we want to make sure that they all get an opportunity to properly represent themselves and talk about their stuff.
And also, I'm very excited to talk to Yhara.
You do not want to miss out on this.
I've DM'd with her a bit, but I want to talk to her.
Yeah. Well,
also,
actually,
look at this idiot.
I love this stream. I love everyone in this call.
It's so great. I got to meet.
Dog Street! His shirt says Dog Street on it. We don't know what that means, by the way.
Come on.
Also,
I got to meet so many cool people here, and that's really cool.
Yeah. Noah, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, can we please get to 4,000 so I can share this Ringo Bingo poster? This is some serious artwork.
Please.
We need to get
excited. I'm so excited for Ringo Bingo.
We need to get to 4,000 so Noah can share this incredible lost Ringo Bingo poster that he found.
It's made by the iconic designer Fellini. So
well, that has to be written down. That has to be written down and put into the lore tab. I need to change the permissions on the lore tab of.
Yes, you have.
Chat. We've just asked you to get us to 4,000 so we can see this thing. In order to do that, I know we've tapped you for money a bunch, but if you have some to spare, you can hit !donate and follow the instructions there. But another way that you can help us get to 4K is you can tweet out the link to this stream, twitch.tv/LKTheBrave. You can text the link to this stream to your parents, to your sibling, to your dog, I don't care.
Your rich uncle.
The point is, your rich uncle, your rich great uncle Ringo
Your
Bingo.
sugar daddy.
Retweet it. Post it on Reddit. Post it on Facebook. Post it on your Discords. Write it. Graffiti the link on your nearest overpass, so that drivers going past cannot help but go to this stream. You are here and you are going and you are pushing to try and get as many folk here as we can, because that's how we build this. That's how we build this movement. That's how we help support Trans Lifeline, supporting trans people in the US, Canada, and around the world. And it's how we get to hear Lady Knight's fanfic, and it's how we get to see this freaking amazing poster, and send it to your sugar parents.
We shall soon see.
I like sugar parents. Oh, also, please look at this idiot. Yeah, excuse me. Look at this fucking dipshit over here.
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Dog Street.
His name is not Dog Street. I forget his name. I forget the names of
He's
his
Dog
kids.
Street, okay?
Yhara! Yhara, hi!
Hello.
Oh wait, let me turn up the volume.
Not one more step.
Hello.
Boop, 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 boop. Hi! How are you doing? Please, can you introduce yourself to the chat and tell them what you do?
What do I do? Okay, I am Yhara Zayd, sort of, and I complain about movies and TV and pretend that it's film criticism.
It is film criticism, you are correct.
Actually,
same, but same.
That's actually what Yhara just said kind of perfectly sums up the point of the entire Ringo Bingo bit. The whole like, oh, my film criticism doesn't really count because I'm not meeting X.
Ringo Bingo again, you guys. I don't think Yhara Zayd is gonna know what Ringo Bingo is.
Can we let Yhara talk about Ringo Bingo?
Yeah, we can't just start talking about Ringo Bingo. We need to explain.
Yes,
I disagree.
Get a move on.
I am Ringo Bingo.
So Ringo Bingo is an award-winning, world-class, in fact, the most amazing Italian filmmaker who has ever existed and likely ever will. Single-handedly responsible for the downfall of fascism, the CEO, in fact, of Antifa Emeritus, of course.
That part is not actually part of the lore.
We haven't decided if that's part of the lore yet, but
the Antifa stuff is not part of the lore because it doesn't fit with the point of the video.
But he is the greatest Italian filmmaker.
Yes, he revolutionized Antarctic.
Film. Yeah.
He died as he lived, hang gliding in 2008, screaming "Fuck you, Y2K!" No one knows why he said that. This was supported upon by Buca de Beppo, the greatest
famed film historian.
Famed film historian. Not to be mistaken with Luigi Bingo, Ringo Bingo's brother's lover, Buca de Beppo.